I got two hands, I got my mouth, I know how to earn money.
Get in line. The bureaucracy in the Philippines, wait. Insult you. You're that sensitive, sir. Don't be so don't be so sensitive. Excuse me. Don't be so sensitive. No, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, man. Hey, when respect is shown to me, I give it back. Hope that answers your question. Because you said, I see you don't know how to respect others. Too bad. Absolutely, I respect. But you see, I got. Isn't that fair enough? I think you're seeing things the wrong way, sir. Show me respect, I give it back. I think that's fair. Is that not fair? Or do you have a problem with that too? Estevino says, so is there still a chance you have to leave the country? I'm not talking about any more legal shit on here. There's a chance I could die today or tomorrow. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't think I'm going anywhere. I would have been gone already. You don't see police coming to my door. You don't see all these agents with their long guns lining up at my door, at my gate. Shit, I pass the police station every fucking day when I go to certain places. I go downtown. Fuck, I even light up a cigarette around there too. You're not supposed to smoke in town. I don't give a fuck. Get a 500 peso fine, I'll light up another one. You need another 500? There you go. You got 1,000 now. Go treat your wife to a good lunch. It's not that I defy the rules of the law, but in the case of like smoking in public, it's so petty. When you think of the pollution and everything else, it's my lungs. I'm doing it to myself. Nobody's doing it to me. Just like people, if you drink, you're doing that to your liver and your kidneys. I'm not forcing anybody to drink, am I? Neither am I forcing anybody to make a fool of themselves on YouTube. Angry? Oh, I'll show you anger. That's not angry. You sound angry, Frank. No, I'm not angry at all. I'm just talking to you. We're having a dialogue. You sound angry, Frank. Oh, you'll know when I'm angry. Trust me. If I'm angry, you'll know about it. Oh, you'll know about it. Now, if you've been following me for a long time, I've had a few times I was awfully angry. And you'll know when I'm angry. Absolutely. Anyway, you're starting to bore me now, Pinky. Which is a troll, of course. What should I do with this guy? Should I can him or what? What should I do? Pinky. With a name like that. Or is it Sticky Pinky? I don't know. Could be him. Pinky says, and now you let everyone know you break simple Philippines law. Well, report me. Report me. Did I smoke downtown? Report me. Report me. Are you that desperate? I smoke downtown. Hey, I'll tell everybody. I smoke when I'm in downtown Santa Fe. Oh, you better pick me up on that one, buddy. You better pick me up on that one. That's a super crime. You're pathetic, dude. Stinky. That's probably who it is. I'm not going to give him the opportunity to continue here. Well, I won't be able to see his comments anyway. I don't know. You'll be able to see him, but I won't be able to see him. End of, there you go. End of task. Sticky Pinky. Yeah, that guy's got some problems, though. He acts like he's talking to a massive audience. I don't talk to a massive audience, but he goes on. And guys, I understand this. I mean, I love the girl, but I'm going to try to get her to the United States, and maybe you guys could tell me what to do because, I mean, I can't even. Now, I wear sunglasses on my show, but this guy wears sunglasses. I'm not sure what his reason is, but they're really so out of style. The huge sunglasses covering half his fucking face. That makes you curious. I mean, I go on camera without glasses on, but this guy doesn't come on there without his glasses. I'm not sure what he's trying to hide. I'm never really trying to hide anything. It's just my shtick, it's my thing, and other reasons too. But you know, I don't know. Maybe he's kaleidoscope eyes like the angry one, Dave Phelps, or something. Maybe he's got those crazy eyes or some shit like that. Stinky Pinky's just here to get some more. So you think that was him, huh? That could have been. Could have been. Could have. Anyway, I'm still waiting for the white envelope. Well, what makes you think it's going to be white? Maybe it's like a manila. I like that. Manila envelope. Nilly vanilly. Maybe it's yellow. Where'd you come up with the white? Where's the white? It's a nothing burger. And there's the contents of it. There we go. I did get a white envelope. I did. Right there. There you go. There you go. What more you want? Stinky is big buddies with Ray and well, that wouldn't surprise me. Ah. All these low life. It's like a networking system. They're all integrated with each other. You know how that works. That's a weird dude, isn't he? Now Jimbo, it doesn't seem like he's happy in Cambodia. You ever get that feeling? I got a feeling. Town is dead. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm bored. Well, he does plenty, really. And now he's calling her his girlfriend. It's one thing or the other. Is that teen he's hanging around with, is it his girlfriend or it's not? He kept on saying it's not his girlfriend, but now he's trying to piss off Dexel, his wife in the Philippines. Oh, she stays over there, and they'll even sleep in the same bed. But he ain't getting no action from her. She wouldn't touch him with your dick, folks. He's not getting no action. He ain't getting no action from her. He probably can't, physically anyway. But yeah, she's got one bed. Sure, she could sleep in a bed, but I'm sure he's got Roman hands or something. I don't know what's going on with them two. I don't even understand why she's hanging around with him. The only thing I can think of is that, it's offering her a place to go to rather than her parents' place, which lives up in the mountains or something, and she has his job, supposedly, and therefore he's closer to where her job would be. And, hey, why not take the opportunity? It's rent-free. I'd do the same thing, wouldn't you? It's not a boyfriend-girlfriend situation with Jimbo. Not even close. He ain't getting nothing out of that chick. But he does that to make, here we go with revenge again, so common on here, to piss off Dexel, his wife in the Philippines. Yeah. That's all. It's a game. These are grown-ass men doing this kind of shit, He's not happy in Cambodia. He should be in Phnom Penh, where there's more action, more amenities, but where he's going, Ko Kong. God, I even get sick and tired of hearing that. Ko Kong. Reminds you of King Kong. I'm in Ko Kong. I think he just likes saying that word. Like salsa. Has a nice ring to you. Like to say salsa. I like to have some salsa with those chips. As Jerry Seinfeld said, salsa. He likes to say Ko Kong. I'm here down in the action. Just a short distance from here is where they sent the missiles. I'm your man in action in Ko Kong. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Shampoo is using Jim. Yeah, she went to buy some shampoo. Oh, no, that was the other one. Oh, shampoo. You call it Chantu shampoo. Okay, got it. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow here this morning. Gotcha. I know, she's using him for a place to stay and all that, Maybe he gets a little titty feel out of there or something. I don't know what he gets. I really don't know. But it's companionship because Jim is very alone out there. He needs her there. And she's totally willing to take advantage of the situation. And why not? Wouldn't you? I would. A free place to stay should be close to the work. Because don't forget, she was commuting, She was living with her parents, but they live up in the mountains somewhere, and it made it harder to get to work. there comes old Jimbo, savior of the day, and that's what she's doing. It's all right what she's doing. I totally approve of what she's doing. I think it's smart. She seems like a nice girl, but I don't believe her age. I just don't. I don't believe her age. She ain't no 30 years old. Well, okay, to be fair about this, there are a lot of Filipinas that look really young. Like the one I dated, Vanessa, at the beginning, She was like 33 years old at the time. She looked like she was fucking 16 years old. And I'm saying that. I'm saying that. I used to tell her the same thing. Man, you look like you're 16 years old. So she proved that her age was. Yeah, some of them do look young. But you get the exact opposite sometimes. You'll see Filipinos that are young that look really beyond their age. But I think there's more Filipinas around that look younger than their age than there are the opposite. From what I have witnessed. Yeah. I mean, look at Jesse in the Philippines. Look at his wife, right? Everybody swore up and down, and so did I. So did I. That she was like, hello, dear.
Hi.
And swore up and down that there's no fucking way that she's like in her, late 20s or whatever the hell she's supposed to be now, 25 or something. I was totally convinced. You could not, you could not have told me something different. I wouldn't believe it. But it's true, she is. But she does look unusually young. And I could totally understand why people would think different, right? I don't know, but see, okay, there's two types of people. I don't think Jesse's a pervert or nothing like that. In all honesty, I don't think Jesse's a pervert. I think it's taking advantage of a situation where you can't legally be with somebody who's underage in this country. But if they are of age and they just happen to look like a prepubescent or something, then you're not doing anything wrong. And if you were, I said, if you were, we're not calling Jesse anything. If you were that type of guy that's looking for the legal avenue of being with somebody that looks like a young teenager, ripe and everything else, then that would be the biggest turn on for somebody. That would be a big turn on. But the fact that she's of legal age, he's protected. But no, I don't think Jesse's a perv. He's got what he wants. He's got a young-looking Filipina. It's like going back into a time machine. All you can say is good for him, but I'll be honest with you, I can't feel comfortable with something like that. I know you shouldn't care about what people think, but it's really what you think. I don't know. I'd have eyes on me all the time. If I was with somebody who looked that young, like Jesse's girlfriend, Jesse's girl, it's gotta be Jesse's girl. I couldn't feel comfortable. I get so tired of the eyes being on me all the time. What was that, your great granddaughter? I'd get tired. That would get old real fast. That's why people will live in isolation in rural areas so they don't have to hear too much of that shit. But if you're a pervert and you got a girl that looks as young as that, and she's actually legal age, man, you made it. Your flag, you put the flag up. You've accomplished something, but you did it legally. I think you understand what I'm saying, don't you here? It's a legal way of having a girl that, looks totally underage. It's like it could be your granddaughter, you get away with it. But if she's legal age, it's kind of a toss of the coin with this thing. It's kind of a oxymoron or something. It's, you're getting what you want, but she is legal, but she looks illegal age, but she's not illegal age, and it's one of those things. You're getting good of both worlds. She's legal and she looks very young, and if you had those kind of tendencies, then you got everything you want. Imagine legally having a woman, if you're one of these perverted people, legally having a woman that looks like a tiny child, and she's totally legal, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the legality of it, and you're getting the perversion factor of it, if that was your character. So, keeping my statement very legally healthy, I'm watching my words. I guess a lot of you never really thought about that, did you? The best of both worlds. Let's say somebody really was after these young underage women, and they find a woman that is of legal age and looks that way. I mean, that is like you won the lottery. You won the fucking lottery, as far as these guys, what they think. That's a lottery. That's a big win. If you're attracted to underage girls like that, you know, and the difference is that she's of legal age. She ain't doing nothing wrong. Is there morals involved with this? Some might say there is, but when you really chalk it up, he's not doing anything wrong. Good for him if he likes them looking like they're his grandchild, but to each his own. But Jesse's not doing anything illegal at all. And a lot of the real perverts out there are thinking, man, what a perfect situation that is, man. I come to this country to date underage women and I can get arrested for that. But wouldn't it be great if she actually wasn't underage and she looks like that? I hit the fucking lottery. Yeah, and they would. That would be their lottery. Just face the fact, there's a lot of very young looking Filipinos out here. Very young looking. And that's either a blessing in disguise or not. But a lot of guys don't want to be seen. It's actually the opposite sometimes, because a lot of guys don't want to be seen with a woman that looks so young that could be his great-grandchild. We're going that far. Great, not grandchild, but great-grandchild. I personally could not feel comfortable in a situation like that. I just could not. But that's me. I don't want to be stared at all the time. And then I have to approach somebody. Oh, is this your granddaughter or your great-grandchild? No, that's my wife. Do that in America. See what kind of feedback you're going to get on that in America. You know, you're not a rock star unless you're a rock star or a wealthy politician or you're Jeffrey Epstein or somebody or whatever. You know, you're not going to get away with that shit. And Epstein, well, he's dead now, so Trump is next, in line. Once they release it, they're redacting everything now. Trump is really worried. He is like pissing his pants. Yeah, he's worried. He's worried. He's going to do everything in his power to make sure. Even the FBI. Oh, he's threatening all the FBI agents. There's 1,000 agents that was on this, and every one of them got notice. You say anything, your job is gone. Your benefits and your retirement, is gone. What are they going to do? They got to listen to him, right? He's got something over their heads. He's holding something over their heads. Yeah, that's what power does. It goes to your head, actually. So, Trump is going to have his day. He will. This time, I believe he will. Too much against him. His horrible demeanor, his calling people names and retarded and this and that. He's a total dickhead. Total dickhead. He shouldn't be representing any country and be a role model for children. He's the worst. There's not one network or private news show that's on here. There's so many social media networks now, or the Midas Touch is the one I listen to. He's pretty good. Midas Touch. And I sometimes listen to Don Lemon, who used to work with CNN. And whatever you think of Don Lemon, a lot of them maybe down him because he's gay. I don't care if the guy's gay or not. I think he was a good anchorman on CNN. I thought he was great. Politics is what got him out of there. But now he's showing them. He's got a very successful social media outlet now. He's doing very well. Sponsors, everything. He's not broke. And then, by the way, all these networks, they're becoming a thing of the past. All these affiliated networks and whatnot, got NBC, ABC, CNN, Fox Network. They're all going to go down the tube. You realize that, right? We all go through changes. Changed. Because you don't need all that. Look at Don Lemon, look at Midas Touch, and a few other shows. There's lots of them. Millions of subscribers. They don't have a big studio, pay people to do the lighting and the sound and, enormous equipment and, they're independents. Independent news channels right here on YouTube and Twitter and whatever you call it these days. X. They don't have all the expenses. So Don Lemon really showed CNN. I always listen to CNN. I hate Fox. But guess what? Even Fox, who's so pro-Republican and so pro-Trump, is backing down now. It's pretty bad when Fox, of all people, who has always supported the Republicans, and certainly Donald Trump and his, entourage, okay? They're all backing down now. Now we're seeing more of the reporters speaking the truth, which you don't find on Fox. Like Trump was saying, fake news, fake news. Well, that really does apply to Fox. I don't think CNN was putting any fake news out at all. Fox certainly did. Now, the tables are turning, my friends, on Fox. Now they have no choice but to be nonpartisan. Now they don't have a choice. Highly partisan. Now it's leaning toward nonpartisan views and reporting because they don't have any choice. Because a lot of facts have been presented about Trump and his party. They see all the dastardly things that the Republican Party is doing and his MAGA. And it comes to a point that they have to give in. It does come to that sometimes. You're not going to take the channel's credibility anymore unless they do give in. And you know how it is. You always want to join a winning team, right? Well, if there's so much against their hero, Trump, they cannot support him 100%. Or they will be the fake news network, period. You could only lie so much on the news, but when something comes out and a news anchor's on there giving their little daily spiel in support of Trump and his party, it comes to a point they can no longer do that because evidence is overwhelming. You see what a cunt fucking Trump is, right? They have to give in sooner or later, and they are. I know all the MAGA people, all the big supporters, the staunch Republicans out there, they're pissed off. They're all red-faced now, aren't they? And we know who they are on here too, right? We know who the Republicans are. We've got a Republican in jail. Where did they get him? Where's this Republican Party trying to bail him out of jail? He's a Republican. They don't even vote, but he's a Republican. I don't tell people I vote when I don't. I generally don't vote. And I can't really vote on American issues out here, not really. So, I think they're all crooked anyway. That's another reason I don't vote. You can't trust a politician. Anyone. Kennedy used to be my hero. Did I trust him 100%? No, I didn't. He did a lot of fucking around with a lot of famous people behind the scenes on his wife and all that. He wasn't a perfect person, but, let's kind of dissect this just a little bit. What a president does socially with his private life and who he's having an affair with is between him and his wife. They have to discuss the problems. If they're doing a good job, guiding the country, well, separate, which you should separate, for example, religion from politics, as I've always believed. Same thing, if he's doing a job that he was basically voted to do, base it on that, not on what he did with Marilyn Monroe or whoever. Base it on what he's doing for the country. The personal stuff, that's between him and his wife at the time. And that goes with any politician today. Are they doing their job or are they not? If they're doing their job, fantastic. If they're not, vote them out or whatever. But to use something against them, like, for example, Clinton with Monica Lewinsky. The only thing wrong he did with that is that it was done in the Oval Office. But I got news for you. A lot of that shit goes on with presidents in the Oval Office. Tells his agents, to go somewhere else. They know what's going on. It's just that we happen to know that this took place in the Oval Office. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? How many presidents has had many women on their laps, and they weren't just getting lap dances, throughout presidential history in the Oval Office? It was a fucking brothel. It was a fucking brothel, the Oval Office in America. So big deal. Do you think somebody's doing a good job running the country? They are or they not. It's one or the other. You got people that disagree. What they do personally, if they cheated on their wife, that eventually is going to be between him and his wife or whatever. It shouldn't be like a tool to use against people that you're a horrible person politically. No, it has nothing to do. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Morals, all right, might be some morals, but you don't have to, being a president having good morality has nothing to do with each other. It's not their morals. Well, in Trump's case, he has no morals to begin with. Anyway, nature calls, exercise calls. I got to get off. Hope you had a fun show this morning. Merry Christmas to all. Happy New Year. And let's get some nothing burgers out there. Let's get the nothing burgers going. There you go. Out of the end. Oh, welcome to my, relatively early afternoon extravaganza here, if you want to call it such. I'm going to raise a question here. I'm actually in the middle of doing something here, but I was watching earlier a YouTuber, I guess it's the new Mother Theresa of the YouTubers on here. Carrie Tasty Travels. I don't know what kind of name that is. And she's a nice Filipina gal who haven't totally decided yet as to whether or not she truly wants to help these, call them the fallen expats, or she's just trying to do a show to get views and subs and enrich herself. I don't know. Well, something nice she's doing. I gotta give that to her, but there's some question on this, really. Something wrong with being nice to people and giving. But is it anybody's job to help out these naive expats who come here and they get into a relationship with somebody and they don't feel it out and they lose their fortune in the relationship? Whose responsibility is that for us to repair? Well, you go home and you start all over is what you do. And that's a good start. I understand her efforts to want to help people. Of course, it's to build up a channel and make money. It's always a certain amount of, self-profiting that goes on. But like this Jewish guy, I don't know the story, he came to the Philippines and supposedly had come with millions, as she says. Well, I don't think it's dollars. I think she meant millions of pesos. And then he lost it. And, you know, you could watch her channel and hear the whole story of it. I couldn't really continue, but I kind of flipped through it. So the question is, whose responsibility is it when an expat is so goddamn stupid that they're going to just like, bam, practically turn over their whole fortune to somebody and not really researching the people, well, the girlfriend that you have or wife, it's usually a girlfriend, and sometimes wives, but you travel across, practically travel across the world, and you don't know somebody that long, and you know, you're just getting kind of bamboozled into something. And it makes me question the intelligence. Now, this guy was, he got to the point he was down and out on the streets, you know, not looking good, thin. And we're hearing more and more stories in this gracious Christmas time here, you know. Yeah, great topic. Well, her name is Carrie Tasty, whatever. I don't know where she gets this name. Carrie Tasty Travels. Now, don't get me wrong. It's very nice. It's very nice that she's helping somebody out. I think we all should be pretty giving in some respect for each other. But considering the world as it is right now, where the only people that humans are interested is themselves and their own greed and profit and so forth, you know, their own welfare. Of course, it doesn't help when your government is working against you and not with you. So, as in the United States, of course. But should we be bailing out people for stupid mistakes that they make? I mean, really dumb ass mistakes. Is it our job, yours, mine, anybody? Now, for example, I'll help people out, which I have many times, according to what the circumstance was. And I never asked for anything in return. Besides, you know, you're not getting anything back anyway. If somebody comes up to you, can I borrow something? You're lucky to get it back. Well, we know very well with that one. We know very well about that one. But the good point is we did get our money back. We did a very kind of interesting investment deal that for several years, fantastic. Oh, even the interest rate is like you couldn't get it out here. No, it wasn't a 5-6 deal. I'm not really going to explain it, but just say it worked out real well. But then, in her line of business, she was lending. We were investing, but she would use people's money to lend, but to invest. She's a little bit of 5-6, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, a little bit of honey, a little bit of chocolate. You know. But then people stopped paying her. Well, what are you going to do when people stop paying you? The people you have an obligation with are going to suffer too, and that's what happened to us. So we've made mistakes, but the good thing is we were able to remedy it. That's the change. That's on our story. Now, not everybody turns out that way, but let's see. King. In most big cities in the Philippines, there's a group called FNKN, Foreign Network Keepers, and they associate with PNP. I know nothing about that. You might explain that, but how do they work with PNP? Look, I'm saying is people fall in hard times when they don't expect it, but when it's from their own stupidity, do you help them? Do you help them for their own stupidity? I mean, you would think these people, these expats, have watched hundreds of YouTube shows, hundreds, if not thousands, and they've seen things about scams. They've seen expats going broke on the streets. Why is it that they think, well, no, that could never happen to me? But it does happen very often. And people freak out, like Filipinos freak out. Filipinos freak out when they see, how is it possible that a white man is on the street begging? Or, but then this guy comes up with a story. I don't know if it's real or not. Oh yeah, I came out here with millions of pesos. He could very well have. He could very well have. It's not always the case. But don't buy your woman like a product in the store. Fortunately for me, I never had to do that. Well, that's not totally true. That's not totally true. I think in my effort to, it's like the first woman I was with, I was just too overly anxious to get a relationship going. I didn't buy her a bunch of shit, not really. But, right away, get the ring on the finger. This is a keeper, man. Get the ring on the finger. This is a keeper. Well, a lot of people think that way. A lot of people think that it's a keeper. I'm getting older, and this is where it comes in. This is where it comes in. Oh, expats and locals and police. Okay. I don't know what they do, but so as in my mind, I'm sure this has happened with a lot of people, you see yourself getting older and saying, man, well, looks good, seems good, tastes good, the whole bit. If you could eat if a piece of poop tasted good, looked good, and everything else, you might eat that too. But generally, people wouldn't unless they're depraved or something. But horrible example, but why not? Same fucking thing. It looks good. You're all worked up. She's a lot younger than you. Man, I can't let this one go, you're saying to yourself. Because, I may never see a woman again. I may never have a woman again, like Popeye or somebody, or Kevin or something. See, you don't want to be in that position. However, as much as you don't want to be in that position, don't put yourself in that position. You're not dead yet. As long as you could draw a breath, there's always hope. So don't rush into something. That's the people who screw up, when you rush into something. Let me give you an example, which I talk about all the time. Oh, you bought your woman a house. I hear that 1,000 times. So what? Yeah, 6 years into the relationship I did that. Not 6 weeks, not 6 days, not 6 weeks, not 6 months, but 6 years. That's how you do it. Give yourself, plenty of roadway to travel in that relationship, to feel things out and come to your own conclusion. Is she worth investing in for your future and hers? And certainly after you pass on, is it worthwhile giving her this future, this opportunity, by having a home she could call her own? That's a nice thing to do. All right, but fucking rumors. I really don't. I don't care about people's fucking rumors. Rumors and bloomers. That's all they are, is rumors. So, Carrie Tasty Travels. Is she the new Mother Theresa of YouTube? Or is she such a good-hearted person? Or both, or whatever? What does she get out of this? Besides a little clout on YouTube and getting the ratings up and making money for herself. The question is, does she donate her winnings? Excuse me, not winnings, but does she donate from the money that she's making on her show to help these homeless and or expat homeless? Or is she totally reliant on people's contributions? I really don't know the answer to that. I'm just bringing it up. You may know more than I do about the person, but I'm just going to bring it up. Okay, if she really wanted to help people, she would use her channel, if she's going to keep that Mother Teresa thing going, she would donate her money that she's making from her AdSense and so forth, and donations on her channel to do. Is she doing that? I don't know. I really don't know. That would be probably an admirable thing to do. Yeah. Now they're going after Rike. There's always somebody going after, Now, after 3 years, he did a short on Frank versus Barry. Who did? Who's that? Did a short on Frank versus Barry? Did a short on Frank? Who did? Well, anyway. Well, Barry's situation is pretty much sealed. His faith is pretty much sealed. Rike? The famous Rike did a short on me versus Barry? I wasn't aware of that. Something recent? I wouldn't mind looking at it. I didn't even know if Rike even know who the hell I am. But you'd be surprised how many people know who you are, They may not talk about you on their show, but they skim through a lot of things, or they hear things, and they do their own investigation on it. Oh, yesterday, huh? Oh, I'll have to check it out. Oh, it's a pretty hot day today. I didn't go anywhere. She's out at a Christmas party with her female friends for Christmas. It was a girls' thing. She's got to have her girls' day out. I have no problem with that. Rike knows everything going on in the community. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. It'd be nice if people were just very giving in nature, like this YouTuber I'm talking about, Carrie Tasty Travels. And I must admit, I don't know a whole lot about her. I know the last thing she was helping us get this other. There's two of them I know is helping. One may have died along the way when they went back to their country. I'm not sure. There's this one guy, it's a Jewish guy, kind of curly hair and skinny and shit, who she claims had millions of, no, she says millions, not millions of dollars. She didn't say pesos. I assume he had millions of pesos, and he lost it. How do you get yourself into that situation in a relationship? And it takes a lot of desperation when you don't know somebody real well. And I'm just going to assume, makes that ass out of you and me, but I'll assume that it was not maybe a long-term relationship. That's the scary part. Who in their right mind is that desperate anyway, that if that's all the money you have in the world, and you're going to dump it on somebody to try to impress them, if that's being the case, okay. That's pretty dangerous. Look, there's this psychological thing goes on when you get older. Because I know, because it happened to me. It absolutely did. I talked about it all the time. It was my first real, shall I call, love or lust or whatever it might have been at the time. Where I was thinking to myself, and my brother was probably laughing. I'm sure he was. Oh, I'm engaged now. Yeah, I'm sure he was laughing, and rightfully so, really. Rightfully so. He had the right to laugh, if he did. Thinking, oh yeah, he's going to meet this woman he's been talking to for a while, and things are going great, brother, and I'm engaged. Oh, I'm happy for you, Frank. I'm happy for you. Meanwhile, he got off the phone, probably, fucking fool. I'm sure, knowing him, he probably said that. I'm sure. All the expats on her channel looks like Peter did in his last days of Manila. Well, Peter looks totally different. He hasn't been posting, but the last thing we've ever seen of him, he looked like he put on weight and was looking pretty healthy. And I don't know, man. He always seems to have money to buy. He's really into, camera equipment and stuff. I don't know what he does, but, where does he get the money to buy cameras and shit like that? They're not cheap in America. They're not cheap anywhere. So, is he on the dole somewhere? Where's he getting his money from? I don't know. Good question. Maybe he got his shit together. Who knows? Sometimes people are capable of doing it. Peter Van Dever? Well, I don't know about that. Yes, Peter. Yeah, he does. Must say it. The last I've seen of him, he looked pretty damn good for Peter Van Dever. He used to wear some of the same clothes and shit all the time. Remember back then, and walking the streets and walking out on meals and all kinds of shit. Another Barry. He is a preacher getting donations. He's pushing that shit again, huh? Yeah, the preacher, the phony fucking preacher. Oh, he'll always find an audience, you know. Birds of a feather flock together. If it's about God or something, oh yeah, you can make money on religion, that's for sure. That's what it's all about. Is he working with snakes too, you know? Look, nothing surprises me. There ain't nothing that surprises me. There's nothing anybody can tell me that's going to surprise me. Nothing at all. After being on YouTube as long as I have, there's nothing that surprises me. What people do, how they do it, and so forth. Got 14 at this time, which is pretty good actually for this time of day. Thanks for tuning in. No, I'm not surprised in anything. I'm sure. I mean, he's a born scammer, that guy, but only he knows how to scam even better than Barry did. He's a much better scammer than Barry. See, he would scam people like Peter does, but he winds up in a better position. But Barry, with all his scamming, always wound up still broke and using it for, you know, booze, cigarettes, and whatever. Not anything that it's meant for to get these donations, or what he was scamming for, women out of money and all that, promises to pay back and all that shit. Well, that's old news now. Okay, people do fall on hard times. And a lot of foreigners do. I think a lot of them mean well, but then they get caught up in the emotion when they meet a woman. And that's what does it. It's always having to do with a woman, mostly. I'd say 80% of the time it has to do with a woman. I just came up with that figure. Nothing credible about the figure, but I would think as much as 80% of these situations have to do with a woman. It usually does. PV always called you Father Frankie. Yeah, I know. I don't know why he called me that. Because I was taking care of the people out here, maybe. I don't know. Or taking care of Filipino people, which I've done a lot of that. I don't know where he got that from. But should somebody like Mother Teresa, the new Mother Teresa of YouTube, Carrie, is she doing this for herself to make money, or is she doing this because she generally gives a rat's ass about foreigners who fuck up? Personally, I don't know what other charity work she does, because I really don't know. I'll be fair about this. She should be helping her fellow Filipinos. First and foremost. First and foremost. What's this 13 thing? I don't know what that number is. My eyes right here. God, I need glasses on. Yeah, I think Filipinos are the first people she should help. It's her country. And there's a lot of Filipinos that need help. Screw the expats. Oh, the numbers. Okay, my numbers. Screw the expats. They get themselves into that situation because they're total fucking losers and fools. But it's easy to get bamboozled by a Filipina. Now, I told you my story. I wasn't bamboozled with this first girl I met, you know. No, I wasn't bamboozled by her. It was my doing to I didn't spend a lot of money on her. I gave her an old little iPad thing. It was a piece of shit. It's only good to play games on. She gave it to her kid. I did buy a nice uh, quality bottle of perfume that I knew she liked. I didn't spend a lot of money. I reimbursed her for several weeks of work she was missing because she operated a food stand of some sort with a partner. Partner could have been her friggin' husband or something, who knows. But it's her time away from there. So, yeah, that's the right thing to do. You want to spend time with you? Well, you're going to have to pay for that time one way or the other. You know, as Ricky Boy says, you pay, and he knows because he's always having to pay. It's crazy how many of these guys are homeless here. It's hard to believe. But it's true. There are a lot now. There's a lot you're not aware of. I've only actually myself came into one guy in the street that was begging for money from me, a white guy. And supposedly, this whole story, they had a business together and it didn't work out, whatever, for whatever reason. I didn't give him a lot, but, you know. But no, you help out when you can. You help your fellow man if they deserve it. But understand where a lot of this comes from. And crazy how many of these guys are homeless. Yeah. Uh, he's, now, these are younger guys, too, I'm seeing. These are younger guys I'm seeing that do this. What did they think? Did they quit their job? They had a little money. They came here. They thought it was going to last forever. This last guy was this Jewish guy on her show. And I don't know, what the hell was he, in his 40s or something? I don't know. He didn't seem that old. Not really. So you think that money's going to last forever? Maybe they quit their job or something. And what did they think? They're going to be able to work out here? You can't work out here. So they screw themselves up. But it's always the older guys who want to rush into things real fast. You know, it's what I discussed earlier. You see yourself getting older and you're thinking, this is my last chance before I die, perhaps. And it's looking awfully good. It's like somebody teasing you with a very well seasoned quality steak, and you're hungry. And you want a piece of that steak, don't you? You want the whole steak. You don't want a piece of that steak. You want the whole steak. A good comparative, really, because you start to think different as you get older. You reach a certain plateau in your life and you're thinking, how many years do I got left? Of course, nobody knows that, but you're thinking that way. I want to hop on this, you know, I want to play this trombone, you know, like 8 Miles Overstate Road would say. I'm going to play this trombone or whatever. And I got to hop aboard this train. She's lovely. She's younger. You're never going to get that chance where you come from. Whatever country you come from, you're not going to see that. Very difficult. So, you built up emotion already. You're already fucked up. You got the emotion build up. You should have held back. No, but it happened to me. I'm telling you, man. I told that story many times. I think I lost up to 25 pounds in 1 month. That's a lot. From emotional distress from all that. I really thought I had it coming. I had a future. I was euphoric. There wasn't a drug in the world that would have made me that euphoric. It was a natural high. I got it together. I won the lottery, you know. Big lottery. Didn't turn out that way. So we all learn. Hopefully, you learn from your mistakes not to do it twice. I look at it this way. If you're still breathing, take the time. You got interest? Are you doing like a back and forth thing? You're doing like a LTR, long-term relationship, whatever? An LDR, what they call it, long-distance relationship on the internet? Okay. That's fine. But find out as much as you can. And then you make a trip and spend at least a month. I did. I did that. Spend at least a month to get to know somebody. Continue, go back home, get your money together to come back again and decide if you're going to stay or not, like I did. And be sure of yourself. Is it worth me packing it up, sell everything I own, whatever, to come out there, you know? Well, I didn't sell everything I owned. My house was not sold. I didn't sell the house and move out there. 6 years later, I sold the house. That's the difference. 6 years later. Okay? Donate to Ben Newton. I don't know why you want to donate to Ben Newton. That's the name of your show, though. That's where you're going wrong, brother. That's where you're going wrong. If you could draw a breath and you could spend the time to first explore what you get into. And by the way, unless you're just really interested in the 13A or whatever it is you're interested, you don't have to marry the woman. Because as you very well know, there's no divorce in this country. Unless you want to turn Muslim, you could do that, get divorced, if you didn't know that. A lot involved with that, though. But it can be done. And you can go back to your country and divorce the person. It's just so involved. But then you're going to leave her in a terrible position where she's still legally divorced. She will be still legally married in the Philippines, although you'll not be. And why leave her that way, you know? And why do that to her? Unless you really want to get even. Like Jimbo is trying to make his wife in the Philippines upset and jealous with this very, very young Cambodian girl, which he's not sleeping with. He's technically sleeping with her in the same bed. But he's not getting no action from her, I'll guarantee you that. You can pretend all you want. But I don't see that happening, brother. I don't see it. Why is this door open? I'm in my room and I got the air conditioner on. I got a room I got the damn door to the exercise room on. In fact, I got the air conditioner on in the living room too. I think I got stock in the electric company out here. Anyway, 17 up here to now. Must be nobody else must be bored. All I'm saying is to take your goddamn time. You're not going to die tomorrow, not necessarily, okay? Play it out with the Filipino. Come back and visit her when you can, on vacations or whatever. Get to a point where you've asked all the pertinent questions. You've also done, very importantly, your own research to come to that conclusion that that's the woman for you. Now, if you know everything is copacetic and everything else, then march forward. Come out. But don't sell everything. Don't sell anything. Don't do that yet. I didn't do that. No, I didn't. I had my house. Don't sell everything. Okay. Come out and spend 6 months. It's a good figure. Spend 6 months with the woman. You can meet her family. You get an idea of what's going on. Explore all the logistics. Do a little exploration on your own. Dig deep. Talk to her friends, family, whatever. Get your own idea what she's all about before you make a permanent move to the Philippines. Now, when you're satisfied, all the check boxes have been checked, okay, you're on your way. That's okay. But don't rush into anything. There is no reason to rush into anything. And I understand you're getting older, man. We're all getting older. But wouldn't you rather be more careful than just be haphazard and be such a fucking desperado that you gotta have that train of thought, that you gotta lasso this woman, put the chain on her, claim her as yours, put an engagement ring on her finger. I know all about this because I did it once. That didn't do any good. She's wound up selling it in a pawn shop. I'm sure she did. In fact, I know she did. So you got to look at it in a positive way. Did she fuck you over? No, let's assume she did. Well, in that situation, he didn't necessarily fuck me over. It just was very complicated things, right? Wasn't really knowledgeable about certain things. It was very hard to say why it didn't work, but it did. Bottom line. So you get your feelings hurt, and whoa, 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 feelings, and you do, and I did, but you get over it and you move on like I did. However, think to yourself, hey, did I have a good time for the short time I've actually physically been with her? Did you go out and do things with her while you're in Cebu or whatever, wherever you are? All right, did you have your nice intimate moments with her? Yeah, sassy little younger, not, diaper young like a lot of these guys like to date, but a mature woman, 30 years old or so, delightful in every way, body, looks, personality. Hit the jackpot, right? Well, whether you did or not, all you can really do is appreciate the time that you had with this person. That was your time, that month you physically spent with her, which I did. It was good times. It was good times. And that's how you got to look at it. So it didn't work out. See, you wait a little longer. What happens? Look at me now. I'm with the same woman almost 10 years in February. Okay? Things work out for the best sometimes. And those who continue to do stupid things are not going to work out for them. It has to do a lot with your personality, how you treat your girlfriend or potential girlfriend. You could put on all the acting that you want, but who you are is going to show through at some point. She should be allowed to see who you really are so she can make educated decisions about whether she wants to stay with you. But a lot of these guys put on an act just to get laid, and a lot of times they make a lot of promises. Stick with me, I'll buy you a house, or I'll set your family up with a permanent income every month. Those are simps. Yes, you could address that and define that as being a simp. Absolutely. Okay, Mr. King, check out Goldfinger's interview yesterday. An expat that makes Bummer look like a choir boy. Oh yeah, I don't go to Goldfinger's channel, but I know who he is. Makes Bummer look like a choir boy, really. I don't know. We got our share of those people on here. Such evil people, man. You gotta understand also that people gotta ultimately live with themselves. They have to live with themselves. Oh shit, did I shut the water off? Oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I put the washer on for a small carpet. And I know that sucker is overflowing. Let me go run out here. Shit, you got distracted from something. No big deal. There's a drain off on it. I certainly did. God dang it. I certainly did. The whole basin is full just for one small piece of carpet thing. Now it all comes out in the wash, folks. It comes out in the wash. A big inheritance? Me? Where would I get an inheritance? My family was poor. I'm in a bad spot right now, so, signal-wise, if I go off for a second. Big inheritance, I wish. Ain't no rich people in my line. Nope. My parents were poor folks. I wish I had an inheritance. Oh, the Wallow's going to be sending me a fat check, I heard. Yeah. Right. What a waste of water. What a waste of water. Boy, how brown that water is from this one carpet. She likes to put this near the sink when we do dishes and stuff. So you're always stepping on this carpet because there's always water splashing from the sink when you're washing dishes. Then if you've got shoes on, so you're always bringing dirt up. This gets really nasty. Really nasty. A big inheritance. Man, I wish there was somebody out there that had me in mind. Wouldn't that be something, huh? I'd live, if I had tons and tons of money, I'd live the same way. What would I do different? Well, I'd be able to travel, but do I really want to travel? There's a lot of people making fun of me. Well, Frank can't leave the country because of this and that, but was I planning to leave the country? That's the key question that somebody even brought up. He says, well, who says Frank was wanting to leave the country for any reason? Did he have a trip planned and someone put a wrench in his machinery so he couldn't leave the country? I wasn't planning to go anywhere. So Frank's imprisoned in the Philippines, they're saying. Figuratively. It's not true. Only plan I have was a 3-year exit. That's the only plan I ever had to leave the country. There's nowhere else I really wanted to go except maybe a trip with her somewhere. Never even planned. So, how did I get fucked up? I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me. I wasn't planning to go anywhere. Nope. You could only be imprisoned in your own mind if you really think about it. You could be in a jail cell, but you're truly imprisoned in your own mind. It's your mind that could set you free. It's not the prison bars and the prison grounds that have gates that don't and guards that don't allow you to leave. It's your mind. Some of the most creative people got creative while they were imprisoned. A very famous artist did, who painted what he saw outside the window of his psychiatric cell. Can you name that person? You want to go in here? Go ahead. Come. Go ahead. Right there. You're right. You can only be imprisoned by your own mind. That's a rule that I live by. No matter where you are, you can set yourself free anytime you want. You may not get beyond prison bars, but it doesn't mean that you are indeed imprisoned in your own mind. Nobody wants to be imprisoned in any way or form. You can free yourself no matter where you are. Let's not get too philosophical here. Okay, so helping people out, that's cool, man. I've done my share of that. I can't say a lot of people have ever helped me out, but I've certainly helped a lot of people out. I could say that. Again, I wasn't expecting a medal of honor, anything like that. It makes me feel good when I can help somebody out and when I do it voluntarily, not because somebody's coming up to me, hey man, you got some money? You know? Now, I'll be real honest, I've talked about this before. A lot of times I go to Cebu. Give me money. These kids come up to me. I generally don't give them anything. It's how they approach me. Now, I've seen kids in situations with their moms or whatever, where I've helped them out, because they didn't ask me. I've given money to, certainly in Cebu, near Mango, there's always this one woman there, there's always several, that have a baby in their arms. First of all, you're going to say to yourself, what the fuck are you doing having babies when you're living on the street? Well, I didn't see things that way. I saw it different ways. At first I did. Then I thought about it and I said, well, this is an after the fact thing. Doesn't matter how she got her baby. You know how she got her baby. But the baby is already there. And you got a new life you're holding. And I don't mind giving to a woman with an infant in her arms. I don't mind. I certainly did, Philippines King. We don't want to get into her. I see her post on Facebook, though. She's highly religious, you know, highly religious. She had the big flooding over there with all this rains that were going on. I can imagine it came up to her doorway. I thought she had all this work done in the house. People supposedly helped her to fix up the inside of the place, but what I've seen on her postings, it didn't look that fancy inside the house. I don't know, it didn't look too much better than when I ever came over there. But she's very heavily reliant on her freedom is her religious beliefs is her freedom. There is freedom in your beliefs, there really is. You don't have to believe what other people believe in. We have that right. Apparently, I don't have that right, according to religious people. That I don't want to get heavy into the religion thing, but I'm just making a point. She found her religion. That's her freedom. That's her legs. That's her arms. That's her freedom, and that's okay. I'm all with that. Whatever lets you go from one day to another. When you are imprisoned in your own body, which she is, it's unfortunate for her. She is imprisoned in her own body. And yes, I did do a lot for her, despite all the bullshit on here. Quite a bit, actually. More than we should have, probably, me and Gilda, together. However, end of subject on that. Hopefully she stays healthy. Unfortunately, she's got a lot of problems with the heart because of her condition. I don't really think that she has too much of a future, unfortunately, because her condition only worsens, and how many operations can you get? She's already had supposedly a heart attack. Yeah, it's a pretty sad situation, actually, when you think about it. You live at what you have, and that's all you can do. Lucky she has her family member that takes care of her, because there's no way in the world she could ever take care of herself. There's no way in the world, unless a family takes you in. And I'm sure if something happened with her sister, or cousin, which I think is the one that takes care of her, that some friends or church members or something or somebody would take her in somewhere. And hopefully so. Hopefully. I'm not a mean person. I know the shit she tried to pull on me. But I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to dwell on it. She got, enticed into somebody's little evil web. That's what happened. Done deal. History. Did I learn from it? I sure did. So I'm very selective of who I'm going to help out. But these days, I'm not even really going out of my way to help anybody else out but my own immediate family here. Because sometimes being giving works against you. And because people can come back again, and then they get pissed off at you if you don't give them anything. I had a trike driver, not this one. No, even this one. Because 1 year or two, I gifted them 1,000 pesos or so for their good service and all that stuff. But I didn't want to become a habit when it comes like expected, because I remember last year, excuse me, oh, it's Christmas, you're going to give me a Christmas bonus? Well, I was going to, because he does give me good service, but I decided not to because I'd rather give from me, not from somebody having an expectation, and that's where a lot of people go wrong. They meet a chick in the Philippines, and they figure to get on this girl's side, I got to take care of a family too. That's the biggest mistake you could ever make. The biggest mistake. Here's my 13 number again. My regular 13 solid followers. That's your mistake. And if you fuck up on that, that's your own doing. You deserve everything you get. Because I will tell you, And you hear these horror stories all the time. It becomes an expectation that you're going to help them out. Every little thing that happens. The kid blows their nose. I got to go to the hospital. One of the family relatives or something. Or friends. You're paying for everything. You can't do that. Fortunately, as far as like her brother and sisters, they've got their own cash. They got their own money. So we don't hear anything from them because they don't need it. Only thing we help out, in all fairness, is my girlfriend's mom, who one of her sisters is taking care of. Her mom is bedridden. She's getting close to being 90 years old in February. Bedridden for 3-4 years now. I don't know how to, I call her a tough old bird, T-O-B, tough old bird, because she's hanging in there and I don't know how. She could not get up. You couldn't even try to walk her, she'd probably get a heart attack. You could, because her heart is probably so weak, she cannot leave bed. They try to stand her up now and then, and or not in in the wheelchair, but her head bends over, and she doesn't have, her neck is not supporting her. It's a horrible life. I mean, I'd truly rather be dead than live that way. But she has some reason internally to live on. I don't know. Some people have that internal fortitude, and some don't. But no, we do help toward. She has diaper supplies she needs because she'll go on her own. Medicine. Gilda and the sisters help. And I don't mind. It's not any money. It's not much. The amount is so insignificant. I don't mind. And she's a really good woman. I get along with her really well. She's not highly talkative, but she does. And she doesn't speak a lot of good English at all. She's very quiet, soft-spoken. When I come over, she's got her hand out for me. I always hold her hand. Even though she's had moments of memory loss where she won't even remember her own daughters, she'll remember me. And if my girlfriend goes over to visit her and I'm not there, she'll say, "Where's Frank? Where's Frank?" Ain't that something? Yeah. Yeah, she's a good woman. She's a really good woman. So you don't mind helping people that are in a situation like that. She'll never go to the hospital because the doctors basically told her if she had another stroke or something, there's nothing they can do. Palliative care, at home, that's all it is. I guess you call it palliative care. That's all you can do. But she'll never die alone. And a lot of these expats will die alone. People like Scotty, Ricky, Kevin, and the list goes on. Popeye, certainly so. Certainly so, Popeye. Well, he has his daughter, but okay. I'm never going to die alone. And that means a hell of a lot to me. To die alone. My brother did. Yeah, I just had a friend over his place, and I was talking to him on the phone while his friend came to visit. He sounded great. Well, not great. He was not in great condition, but he sounded fine. It wasn't until shortly after that he passed on, and I didn't know about it. And the trolls will make a big thing about it, saying, "How do you not know that your brother died?" Well, how could I know? Until I tried to call him, and I talked to my brother every 2-3 days, tops. Always answers. Always has a phone with him. Thought something sounded suspicious. I didn't know what was going on. How would I know? My daughter wouldn't even know. But apparently, he had information there for my sister to be contacted. Not me, but my sister. Okay. Oh, wait, that's right. My brother really never had, or could even understand my Philippines phone number. It was very easy with the area code and everything. And since by memory, he had my sister's number in his head. Oh, wait, he was dead. Okay, so it was in the book. Okay. An emergency, please call. It's either going to be me on there or me and my sister, whatever, or both. It's usually both. I saw what he had on the refrigerator. It was both our thing there. Anyway, somebody did the first thing on there. That's how I knew about it. But see, I didn't know about it from my sister until I called her up and said, something strange is going on. I said, I've been trying to call my brother and he's not answering. That's unusual. And then somebody from Facebook, a friend of my brother, said, I came by the house to visit him. Something's really strange. His car there, but he's not there, and went by a couple of times and whatever. Then he finds out from the neighbor that he passed on. I had no way of knowing this. But if you want to listen to Popeye and the trolls, how is it possible your brother died and you don't know about it? Well, I'm like 10,000 miles away. I don't have a crystal ball. How would I know about it? Unless somebody told me. Unless one of the neighbors or the landlord he had, unless I was called. I could have been. Or they didn't dial the number right, or I missed a call or something. I don't know. Sometimes I get miscellaneous calls that come in. I don't know who it's from. They don't leave a message or something. I don't think it was that. But I did not know. Simple as that. I did not know. There's nothing more to say about it. It was only when I called my sister to find out if she could investigate, see what's going on. She cut me off and said that he died. I'm like, what? Like, why did I know about this? Why didn't you call me up and tell me that he passed away? She already had his ashes. And I didn't even know about it. That's my sister. It's like I didn't have the right to know about it. I did more for my brother than she ever could do for him. She'd never lay out any money on him, ever. Maybe a $10 bill on his birthday or Christmas. I'm the one that actually gave him palliative care in a way. But I'm the guy with the black hat, right? She doesn't tell me that my own brother passed away. Wouldn't you be pissed off at your family member for not telling you that another family member passed away? Wouldn't you be pissed off? I was. Not only did she know he was dead, she already had his goddamn ashes. Imagine that. What a piece of work she is. Now you understand why I don't get along with my daughter or my sister. It speaks for itself. Of course I would like to have known if something happened to my brother. Call him every 2 to 3 days and make sure he's okay. Don't listen to these fucking trolls. Don't listen to these fucking trolls. Just trying to get somebody triggered. I took care of my brother damn well, but life goes on. I couldn't stay in that state. There's nothing going on for me. I had to have a life too. He was fine. He had social service looking in on him. He had a van to take him shopping if he wanted to. He'd have a nurse that come over now and then to check on him. He had emergency numbers to call. He was fine. I don't leave a family member in a bad mess. Shit. I had him live with me how many times? In Seattle and in Hawaii? If I didn't care about my brother? That's why I tell these people to shove it up their fucking ass. I did a lot for my brother. Since we're talking about doing a lot for people, that Philippines King was talking about that I did a lot for the girl in the wheelchair. I certainly did. And I did a lot for my brother too. Yeah. That's history. But history has to be set straight, and I set it straight. I did more for him than, I hate to say it, that he deserved. That he deserved. He was very volatile person. But it wasn't really his fault. What is that called? Frontal lobe, yeah. He had a frontal lobe situation going on, which interfered with his train of thought and his moods. And I didn't even realize this until I thought about it until after he passed away. I did some research on this because I don't know what the cause was. My sister started to tell me all the technical things, but then her husband pulled her off the phone because he's a real creep guinea, that despises my whole family. He was tolerant with my brother because my sister was close to him. So he was tolerable on that level only through my sister. But he threw her off the phone. Oh, Frankie, I gotta go. She wanted to talk to me. It seemed like she really wanted to talk to me. But her husband is behind everything, not her. She's not a bad person. I think she's just moody, always in pain from her back, and her husband, who's basically her zookeeper. That's what it is. She's controlled, but he's an old-fashioned guinea, is what he is. He's very controlling of my sister. I'm sure you came into those types. That's what's all. But I think she's a good-hearted person. I always thought she was, but unfortunately. Jimmy Jam is a troll. Bye-bye. I don't even want to bother. Not that he was saying anything. Well, I know where that was leading. No, they were both good people. My brother was a good person. And I don't mind talking about him because his birthday's coming up. He would be, what, 71, 73? 73 or 74? Let's see. He was born 2000. 2000. Yeah, wish, right? He's born as 51, December 26th, day after Christmas. So he'd be turning, where's my math, 73 or 74? Coming this December 26th, coming up. Yeah. Around there. Wow. I always thought it was amazing he lived that long, but I don't mind talking about him. No, my brother was a very good-hearted person. But he got messed up. Drugs, all that shit. Depression hit him, loneliness, all that crap. He was pretty messed up in the head. It's partially by his own doings, and partially not. It's just life. People that you thought were your friends really weren't your friends. That included my neighbors. And the people were so low to put that recording on when my brother left a message for these piece of shit neighbors that were trying to extort money out of me. We said, hey man, I thought you were my friends. My brother sounded pretty desperate, and he was. And the bastards, they got that recording from those tenants I had. Fucking low-life bastards they were. And they were low-life bastards. Yeah, I feel bad for my brother, I really do. But I couldn't be with my brother every second of the day. I housed him for how many years? 15 years or so in Hawaii. He got a break on his rent. He also had help with Section 8. All legal, although the trolls, it wasn't a legal unit. Well, let me tell you, he wouldn't have been able to have been there if it wasn't a legal unit that was up to code, for one. And for two, they said, oh, but you were staying over there with him. Yeah, I got permission to stay there. I got permission. And they knew I wasn't going to be living there, that I had a home already in the Philippines. Or I was, living in the Philippines. That was all figured out. It had to be, because I didn't want to get my brother in trouble. Because it's only him supposed to be living in that apartment. And I was staying there during the duration because I got stuck with the COVID. So the people in the office, they understood that. And they gave me permission to be there because I was also acting as his caretaker while I was with him. I was having a lot of problems, but I had to go back. I had a life in the Philippines. I had to go back to it. I mean, I'm not making excuses for anything. There's no excuses to make, actually. I did my thing, and I've been a caretaker to my brother for decades. When he got into trouble, was homeless. Who was there? Was my sister? No. My daughter? No. Who was there to help him? I was there. Don't listen to fucking jerk-offs like Popeye and people like that. They don't know my situation. They weren't there. But they're trying to hurt my feelings. Well, only I know the real truth about my relationship with anybody in my family. And I talked about it a little bit. Like a lot of it, actually. It is what I said. Got to the point I had to take care of myself, too. I needed a life. I was getting older. I felt more comfortable in the Philippines. That's where I lived. That's where I moved. End of story on that. He was fine. Call me anytime he wants. I was always at the other end of the phone for him, as I was for my daughter. Always there. Always answer. Couldn't stay mad at my brother. I don't stay mad at people very long. Well, YouTube people, that's different, but I generally don't stay mad at people very long. You know, we get over it. You know what I mean? Get over yourself. Sometimes you got to get over yourself a little bit, you know? But I could go to my grave knowing that I was a good father. I could go to my grave knowing that I did more than most siblings would do for their siblings, you know, as far as what I did for my brother. I went way over what anybody would do. I couldn't take him to the Philippines with me. He wouldn't survive out here. That was out of the question. So I did the best I could. I stayed in touch. If he needed something, all he had to do was ask me if I was in a position to help him out monetarily in some way, fix his car, whatever it might be. That's exactly what I did. I sent him Western Union money at the time. I helped this guy out so many times, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars through the years worth of housing and money and giving him a car after I got another one or something. Several of them, 2 of them actually, were turned over to him. I could have sold it for money, but I didn't do that. Even if I was mad at him for something, no, I still gave him it. I'm not the Mother Theresa of the family. Nobody was. But if anybody in my family ever helped my brother, that was me. Me. The guy you listen to right now. He even told me himself, you've done so much for me. My sister even said it. Yeah, I know you've done a lot for him, Frankie, she says. But then she'll turn on me out of guilt because she knows she didn't do shit for him. When he needed a helping hand, she didn't give him no fucking money. She has a son who's a fucking millionaire. My nephew, Christopher. He's a major architect. The guy's a millionaire. If she really wanted to help out my brother, all she had to do was go to Christopher for help. The guy's wealthy. She didn't help my brother. I did. There you go. Good story or what? It's not a story, it's real. So, I know one thing about myself. It comes my time to croak. Let me tell you something. I got nothing to, how would I word this? I don't have any regrets. No deep regrets on anything. I know as a good parent, I can't control the mind and behavior of your children. Can't do that. It's impossible. You could try, but it doesn't always work, as many of you know. You can only do your best. Brother, sister, whatever your family member might be. Same thing. You put your best foot forward. If it gets stepped on, well, sometimes you don't want it to get stepped on again, so you don't help them. But in the case of my brother, absolutely. I helped him in some ways more than he deserved. He gave me so much shit and grief. Oh my God. Where did Frank get anxiety from? Why was Frank taking any meds? Jesus Christ, I used to see a counselor at the clinic. Guess who it was for? Or why? It was for my brother. Yeah, it was that bad. From my brother. You don't know the hell I went through. He went through hell with his help, but let me tell you, I was alongside of him as far as what I went through with him. I could have threw him out one time. We got into a physical fight. Oh, don't call the police. Don't call. I said, I want you out. I said, the minute you ever lay a hand on me, you're out of here. He begged me to keep him stay, and I let him stay. The police were looking for him in the woods. He went barefoot all the way down to the next town to run away from the cops, and I meant it. I meant it. Because that was the second time he was like that with me. I said, I let him pass the first time, but I said, if he ever did it again, call the cops. And I did. They came. I said, I don't know where he is. He apologized. I took him in because I do have a heart. I didn't want to. But what am I going to do? Throw my brother on the street with all his health problems? I could have. But I couldn't live with myself if I did something like that. So I'm not that person you think I am. Believe me, there's times I wanted him to live elsewhere. I would have peace of mind, but you ever been around somebody who's so fucking negative you could feel the negativity coming through the walls? I was living that way with him for a great part of the time. You can't live that way, man. You just can't live that way. That's very hard. Well, anyway, you know the story on that. I call it a Christmas sharing. Not everything is what it appears to be, my friends. Not everything is what people say it's to be. It's hearsay, it's bullshit. Somebody's trying to strip you down of your dignity. In my family, I was probably the most generous person in my family line ever. I gotta drink some here. Take an antihistamine too. I was always very generous, but especially with him. People say, oh, you left your brother hanging. Oh, fuck you, Popeye, you know? I'd leave my brother hanging nowhere. I didn't leave anybody hanging. I could have, and I'd have every right to do it and every justification to do it, but I didn't do that. That's a fact. So I have no guilt complex. I have no guilt trip going on here as far as my brother's concerned, as far as my daughter's concerned. Remember, in life, you can't force people to do things unless they want to. You can't force somebody to be in your life. Don't force a woman in a relationship with you, and give her alternatives. That if you don't stay in a relationship with me, I'm going to do this and do something bad to you. Don't ever do that either. You shouldn't be in a physical prison. You shouldn't be in a prisoner in somebody's mind. Treat people like you like them to treat you. And that doesn't always happen. But you still have to be the better person. No matter how vile somebody can be, you still put your best foot forward. If it gets stepped on again, then it just does. It is what it is. There you go. Okay, I've been on here for a while. I'm exceeding an hour. I didn't expect to be on this long. I gotta finish up something here anyway. This has got to be turned off. Jesus. I'm gonna run 2 air conditioners in this house. Hope everybody's gonna have a jolly old Christmas. And you should. No matter what your belief is. As I said, I'm not religious, but I still wish the best on those that are very religious. And it's a good guidance in their life. Makes them happy to believe in something. I believe in a lot of things. I just don't believe in organized religion. That's all. Doesn't make me a bad guy. I just don't believe in organized religion. That's it. Too much hypocrisy. It's too deafening for me. Live by the sword, die by the sword, But please, don't preach to me about religion. People like Popeye, who's the most evil person on here. And yet try to stand on a high horse of religion when he doesn't practice what he preaches at all. And I mean at all. Those are hypocrites that I don't like. And I could never be a friend with somebody like that. I could never be a friend with someone like that. phony balonies. Rah this, rah that, rah the religion, but he don't practice what he preaches. Those are the phony balonies of the world. More try to do more harm to people than go by the scriptures and what God or Jesus would want you to do. Isn't that the whole idea? I think the guy's got it backwards or something. His representative, if there is such, is fucking Satan. He's a disciple of fucking Satan as far as I'm concerned. Not of God. Or Jesus. If there is a hell, he's got an RSVP already. Signed, sealed, and delivered, I guarantee you. If I did something hellish in my life and it was a hell, I'd wind up in hell too. And I'll tell you what, Popeye, I'll see you down there. I'll add a couple of flamethrowers at it too. How's that? Maybe I'll get generous and throw you a pot of cold water or something. The evil laugh. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Hope you enjoyed my stories. But don't judge a book by its cover. Because somebody says something bad about somebody on YouTube does not mean they're a bad person. You know, there's a lot of people on here that try to play the tough guy and all that stuff when they're really not. They're pussies trying to play the tough role because they could, you know. It's all a facade. Trying to have their image on YouTube to be that they're more powerful than you, they got more money than you, they're better than you in every way. But you and I know better than that. They're not. In fact, they're probably going through life having a lot of hard times. Not necessarily financially, in some cases, but I think their quest to be happy on a personal level and an intimate level is probably lacking, is what I'm thinking. I mean, in a big way. Man, they gotta lash out, man. Because don't forget, even negative attention is still attention. And you're gonna get it any way you can. Even people like Popeye, he's so bitter. I could almost feel, I just find it hard to, but I could almost feel sad for the guy. Now, some people think it's unfair that somebody lives a better life than somebody else. Well, maybe you worked toward that. Whether you're nice and grounded where you are, you found somebody that you really love. It took hard work to even get where I'm at now. I was like one of these people that had no fucking direction. I really didn't. I don't think I had. You know, move from one place to another, which I did. Grass is always greener, but not necessarily, right? Not really. Or else I wouldn't have moved out of there. I am the one that made the decision. I need to move on. Maybe this is not the perfect place for me. That's a beautiful place. For example, Hawaii. Right? Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But it wasn't for me. As far as relationships, it sucked. It totally sucked. I mean, it really sucked. Had to move on. Got interested in all this Philippine shit, and here I am. How many years later? So it worked out. And there's some people that don't like it that it worked out. Fire and brimstone they want to throw at me. Because they're not happy with their lives. They want to try to destroy mine. But I'm a little stronger than that if they've gathered through the years, as what they've experienced. That's what gets me by in life. Strength. Not a religious belief, but a belief in myself. So I'm still here. It's even why I'm still alive. Because maybe I'm doing a few good things in my life that's keeping me alive. And it ain't genetics either. We all know that the people who drink as much as they do, who are so goddamn obese, they know their hearts are going to go out. They know that diabetes is going to come, or the diabetes will cause the heart problems, one or the other, or both. I could preach on here about, hey, guess what? If you change things around a little bit, you might live longer, which also applies to me too. I never leave myself out. I'm always fair about that. And you heard me say the same statement probably about a good dozen times or more. I say the words, I'm being fair about it. There's certain things I could do in my life that are not healthy, One, really. I blame myself for that. Nobody else. No YouTubers, no trolls. But I'm doing other things that are good for me too. And yeah, I'm going to make a concerted effort to quit on New Year. But I just don't like to make resolutions because you can't keep them. Don't make a resolution unless you can keep them. I have a good idea how I'm going to do this, but it's going to be really, really tough to do it. It's going to be really, really tough. Really tough. Because I have to also think about my partner and what's good for her. She don't want anything to be happening to me, despite what the trolls think. Oh, she can't wait to get rid of Frank. She'd love him to die. Really? Well, you got to ask her that. No, she's one of the most supportive people I've ever had in my life. Ever. And I do mean ever. Ever. She don't like me smoking. Of course she don't. But she can't force me. It has to happen on my own. As far as exercise and stuff like that, she don't tell me, hey, you better exercise. She's not forcing me to do anything. And I do exercise. So that's the thing. I don't need to have her tell me that because she sees me doing that. She's really happy with that. Yeah. I'm happy with that. And I feel good about myself when I do exercise. It makes me feel a lot more empowered. Big time. I like that feeling of empowerment in that way. When you're doing something good for yourself rather than something bad. Oh, I love it. It does make me feel good. But if you don't try something, it'll never happen. And that could apply to just about everything in your life, not just like quitting drinking or smoking, whatever your deal is, your own personal deal. It takes a lot of effort, man. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of willpower. And the ride is not easy. I got all kinds of shit here. In preparation, I got all kinds of shit here that I will be using. Lots. So we're going to see where that goes. I got all this. And I got some of a big package. Even Mick actually came over when he met me. Mick actually bought me a box. This is not the box, but there's some other one. A big box. Yeah, Mick, of all people. Yeah, Mick. Mick Fisher. When he came over. But the problem with that is you're still putting nicotine in your body. Which is better than inhaling the crap. But the thing is, you want to get off the nicotine. So I'm very divided about that. I'm very divided. Okay, I've been on long enough here. Okay. Gotta pay some attention to my girls here, my two dogs. And I was calling my stepson. They're here too. I don't want to be bored in my room doing a YouTube show for over an hour, which I've been on here for over an hour already. Anyway, live and learn. If you listen to me, you're going to go places. Sometimes I'm going to tell you where to go, too. Never stop me. Unless it's on a sub-level with officers in the department who have been paid off to get this information. This information is not available to anyone, sometimes even including myself, but will go through the lawyer. So any bluff that Popeyes tries to put on his channel is all just trying to get me triggered because there is no. This has been researched, so save yourself the time. There is no records available. In fact, having a leak, if there was, only works in my favor. And we won't go into details of that, but it will work in my favor, actually. So, leaking information on YouTube about a case with a immigration department is not available to the public. If it's not available to the person's lawyer, then it's all hogwash. But do your show anyway, Popeye. I need evidence. There is no way in the world that you'd be able to retrieve information on me and even Barry. Not even for Barry. So, calling your bluff, Popeye. We're calling your bluff. Produce the evidence. Put the signature, see the signatures. Produce it, buddy. Produce it. And by the way, you're a U.S. citizen, so am I. Long arms of the law could reach all the way to Florida. You cannot produce false evidence on public media. Long arm of the law goes all the way to Florida. Just to let you know, poops. But I'm looking forward. Good evening from my living room. With my nice little table there. All full of shit on there that shouldn't be on there. Welcome to my world. Good evening, folks. Got a few nights before Christmas. What is tomorrow evening? Christmas Eve, isn't it? That's right. Well, I should know that. Got a nice little dinner situation going to be going on. Welcome to my show. As you can see in the title, the shit's going to fly as usual. Let me get people straight on something here. Popeye's planning to do a show commemorating Barry's 3rd year being locked up. And he claims he knows all information about Barry and what's going on. Well, nobody does, because I don't even have that information. I know he's still incarcerated. That I know. I know he'll be in there for Christmas. That I know. But there's the Privacy Act that goes on, and that also pertains to me. There will be no information coming from anything from immigration unless it's some kind of false paperwork that somebody produces. I already know that. I've always known that. So I don't know what anybody's expecting, the big reveal or something from Poops. But there ain't no big reveal because with the Privacy Act, nobody, and I mean nobody, not even my freaking lawyer, unless they contact him, could go in there and say, hey, what's the story, Jerry? They can't do that. Now, unless you're paying off some official in there, it would have to be on a lower level. But you never be able to pay off an official on a higher level for information such as that on such a low level of interest. I mean, a complaint case. No, they're pretty tight with that. So if my lawyer can't get information, and nobody else is going to get it, and if somebody was doing something in the Department of Immigration to reveal information that is not meant to be fed to the public, now there is a public disclosure, there is a Freedom of Information Act, even here in the Philippines, but it's only for cases, and usually court cases, and cases that have been resolved, it could go on as public record. But, and you could look this up on ChatGPT too if you want, feel free to do that. Nobody can just go over to immigration and say, hey, man, hello there, Philippines King. No, I was just discussing the bullshit with Popeye. I'm kind of beating him to the punch here. There is no information on Barry, and there is no information regarding my matter. You can't lollygag into the Bureau of Immigration and demand to see private paperwork as to, what's going down with that situation. No. What's that? Got more info on Poops. Leaked email. What does that mean? Yeah. So I don't know what people are expecting. It's just Popeye doing what Popeye does best. Try to get the audience attention. Throw me in there for extra good luck and bullshit about something that is not going to happen, period. Because it's not. If my lawyer doesn't know information, nobody else does. That's the way it works. Okay, because this information could be disclosed to my lawyer, but not even all the time. The way it works is a system. They would contact any legal representative with any issues. They would also have to be foremost communique that goes to the legal representative, which will be my attorney. That's how it works. That's how it works. So I don't have anybody expecting a big reveal or something like that. Good luck with that. If you're going to believe Popeye, it just ain't going to happen. Because if I don't know, and my attorney don't know, that's the way it is. There's a Privacy Act in the Philippines. They will not release information to nobody. Okay, Philippines King. Note, this didn't come from Discord. It says Ego and McFish have numerous communique with immigration. Yeah, I know they're like, they joined forces or something, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sure they do. Yeah. Unless they're paying people off. I don't think they get away with something like that because they could get in trouble. I just don't think that's going to happen. If they did, they'd be in awfully big ass trouble, no matter where they're living at the moment. Oh, yeah. They could be extradited for stuff like that. Oh, trust me, they could, you know. They could. If someone wants to go the distance to do something like that, they're pretty desperate. That's what I say to that. Communicate with immigration. Dude, let me tell you something. If my own attorney can't distract information from the Board of Immigration, nobody else could. Now, I even know an individual that kind of works for a department who himself has a high-ranking job who cannot even himself extract information from the Board of Immigration. How do I know? We tried. That's how I know. And the only people that get the information is, number one, the person who puts out, it's the same time though. A letter gets sent to the person who did the complaint. At the same time, there's a letter being sent to the legal representative of the person who the complaint is about. And they get it about the same time because they're both sent out at the same time. That's how it works. All right, what else is going on here? Everybody gearing up for their big holiday. Big holiday. Just have a dinner. Nothing unique going on. Oh, I'm sure there's going to be fireworks around here somewhere. What do you got?
Peanut.
Oh, a little peanut thing? Those little peanut bags. Huh, I like the little Spanish peanuts, I think they are. Yeah. The most recent communique was dated November 30th. Give me any dates you want. Communique. What do you mean communique? Seems that the 20th is past here too. And it's supposed to be something happened on the 20th. What happened with that? Well, 20th of December, put it that way. November 30th, that was last month, a month ago. There's my 13. The same as the information regarding Barry. You could even try calling the warden, and the warden is not going to give any information about that either. They just won't do that. They say, well, who are you? Prove your identification. If you're a lawyer, give me your information regarding your residency, your position as an attorney, attorney's number, as far as his license to practice. Yeah, anyway, don't, you guys are just too gullible. Oh yeah, just like they were producing for how long? A year? They had a resolution. Oh, I got it in my hand. I got a resolution. And they didn't have shit in their hand because there never was. Obviously, obviously not. It's it's almost the end of December here. You got to be awfully gullible. Or you just have to want to believe. That's what it is. You have to want to believe somebody. Please let it be true. Please let there be something. There's nothing, because I would know. Popeye's just trying to intimidate me, as if he's going to ruin my holiday. He's going to do that all of his own, ruin my holiday. Can't do that. Lights are on. I gotta check out something back here. I'm supposed to run my generator. Not that I need to, but you gotta run it every now and again. Once a week or 2 weeks. Let the gas flow. You got to admit, Ego and McFish are more credible. Oh, are they really? You think they're credible? What you been smoking, dude? There ain't nobody credible on here. There's nobody credible. You smoking something, boy? Credible. Why are they credible? What makes you think they're credible? Or even edible? Oh, there you go. Here's one of the dogs. Toads, really. There we go. Show you what they look like. Can I brought that in? Can I bring that in? No, I can't. Yeah, he'll jump. There he goes. There's another one actually on the other side. We haven't seen a lot of them, but they're still around. They haven't been a problem. My little reacher stick that picks up trash, whatever, that broke on us every time we buy one. I know we just reach out, take them. We don't hurt them. We just dislocate them to another direction over the fence or something. That's all we really do. McFish, I like that. Has a nice ring to it. McFish. McFish. I don't know. Ego must be in love with him because he's always talking about McFish's body that he's working out and stuff. I don't know. Kind of seems that way. I don't know if Ego is attracted to him or something. It happens, Ego does all kinds of stuff that raises eyebrows, so why would that not be a possibility? Oh, anything's a possibility in the world, right? Oh, anything. Anything goes. No, I don't have to admit anything, okay? I was watching a movie here with Clint Eastwood's son. God damn it. He's got his father's eyes. There ain't no doubt about that. He's not a really incredibly big guy either, though, really. I think the father might be bigger than him, isn't he? But his son, I mean, you know that that's his father. Hello? Same eyes. You got to admit, I don't have to admit anything. Don't need to be admitted. I know what I see, I know what I hear. I make and come to my own conclusions about people based on what I see and what I hear. Not hearsay, not speculation. None of that bullshit. The community would fall apart, all the trolls. If this whole thing cleared up, if some decision came out that they don't want to hear, oh my goodness, they would just absolutely fall apart. They'd fall apart. They'd fall apart. Then what then? What then? Well, what people don't understand, as Allah likes to say, what you got to understand. He loves that. What you got to understand. You don't think that the Bureau of Immigration understands the gravity of what's going on. They don't realize that trolls trying to send in this and that about me or anybody else. You think they're not, you know, that intelligent to figure it out that there are people out there just throwing random complaints in and stuff like that? Of course they do. They're not that stupid. I know some of you people out there are pretty prejudiced in ways that they seem to think that the people in governmental office are stupid, but they're really not. Oh, I might as well go into the air conditioning. You're running around all day today.
That's right.
I know.
Not always.
Got a new back scratcher. She won all these little prizes. I don't know. Back scratcher. The dogs love it. Don't you, girls? Yeah. Prizes and stuff, little games going on at a Christmas party. Philippines King says the Bureau of Immigration is on holiday mode for the next 90 days. Yeah, they probably will be for 90 days. You know, that statement isn't far from the truth, really. Yeah, believe me, during the holidays, they ain't doing nothing anyway. Ain't no mail. There ain't nothing going on. There ain't no investigating. There's nothing. But they're probably home with their families, probably getting paid for it. Nothing happens quick in the Philippines. That is for sure. I think we've all deducted that. Pretty much. Isn't that right, Philippines King? Yeah, when they get on holiday mode, they get on holiday mode. Oh, I guess, what was Trump trying to declare? That it's going to be a public official holiday, even for Christmas Eve next year. Official holiday. Well, I'm sure workers will get paid for such. They don't mind that. But how many official holidays can you have? There's only 365 days in the year. Same as here in the Philippines, really. There's so many new holidays that come up. It'll get to the point that people don't work at all because there's so many different holidays. Maybe a new saint or something, or honoring some, I don't know, some official or something. Well, it seems that there's some money allocated to our local hospital here, but it's really not going to be happening till into 2026. Well, they're actually going to get a hold of a defibrillator, and they're going to have a kind of an ICU staff. They're going to have a surgeon on duty, but they're only going to be limited to things like, let's see, very basic operational type stuff. If you go to get an operation, you know, C-sections, hernias, things of that nature. But they will have supposedly enough training to sustain you if you had a heart attack, to kind of get you, I'm lacking words here, to get you normalized, stabilized. That's a big thing. Oh, believe me, it is. You have no idea. They're only going to be a level 1 hospital. Before that, they weren't even that. And there's different levels of hospitals. I think the highest the number, well, the better the facility, of course. Number 1 is like, they were only basically regarded as a, I guess you'd call them, no, I'm trying to find a word, not a mass unit type of care. Oh, it's just like kind of a preliminary primary care place, really. Yeah, you have to be sent off somewhere else that knows what they're doing. But it's better than it's better than a kick in the ass, I guess. they're pumping like a lot more rooms and stuff there. But the problem is they're still in the process of hiring more doctors and getting different staff and getting them trained on different things. And they're going to do a little bit better with their labs too. They will do ultrasound and so forth, but I don't think anything too fancy though. That's too bad, really, for me and anybody else. So don't eat yourself to death on the holidays. Remember, heart attacks do happen. You eat too much, the blood is going away from your heart and going to your digestive system, henceforth slowing the blood flow and oxygen to your heart, and that's when you have a heart attack. Pointer of the evening before Christmas. Take it or throw it out the window. Either way, I don't care. Enjoy yourself, but take little breaks in between all the food you're going to eat. Don't just, do like some of the obese people we have here on YouTube. Just take a shovel and shovel it in their mouth and expect something good to come from that. Like the food is going to run away from them. I better eat it now before somebody gets the rest of that. Yeah, I'll have another piece of that pie. Sure will. Sure will. A little extra whipped cream on that, huh? There you go. Oh, no. Use half the can. There you go. It's paid for. I don't know. I can't have that mentality. Sorry, I can't. You can, but not me. I eat sensibly. Very sensibly. Oh, but what did I have tonight? Chicken, but it was roasted. A quarter, what do you call that? Leg sections. It's a whole quarter piece, but guess what? Rosemary and, of course, roasted rosemary potatoes. Huh? God, I love that. You got to put rosemary on your chicken. If you're going to do it, make it worthwhile. And you could do that with your mashed potatoes too. A little bit of the juice from the chicken. You don't want too much fat. Basically flavor it up a little bit. Put some rosemary on it. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. Suggestion. Now, I wouldn't mind having a nice pie. I couldn't find any place to get. Although, actually, I do know a place, but they're probably sold out by now. Oh, they're going to make business tomorrow. And that's a place over in Van Tyen. It's was it Kerwin's? No, actually, Irwin's or Kerwin's. They make the nicest cakes, handmade. They do that right there. It's not sent out and transported to this place. They make the cakes right there, and they make some pies, and that's an idea. I may go out a little bit on Christmas Christmas Eve dinners. We're going to have it really. We don't wait till Christmas Day. I think we do that Christmas Eve. I forgot what I used to do growing up. I think it was Christmas Eve, even growing up, I think. I'm not sure what people do out here, but I still think it's Christmas Eve to having dinner. Some people hold off to actually Christmas Day. Well, they do it both. I mean, both days. They just like to eat, celebrate. But don't overdo it. You'll regret it. Trust me, you will. You'll regret it. God, I was just reading something. 80% of people have something going on with their kidneys and they don't even know about it. Yeah, I read a couple of articles on that. And holy shit, 2 drinks, what it does to your liver and kidneys, just for 2 freaking drinks. I'm talking hard alcohol, not beer, just to differentiate, just to let you know. Holy shit, what it does to your body. It almost goes into shock, your body. But as a drinker or an alcoholic, I'm sure you don't care what I'm saying. But then again, it is your body. One bad habit is enough, thank you very, very, very much. But to have drinking, no. See, we've all had training wheels as far as those, there's many out there that do smoke and they say they don't. But they do on here on YouTube. Ray makes no bones about it. He's over there smoking and drinking like a chimney and a fish. A lot of them smoke on here. They don't say they do, but most of them, I'd probably say 90% of the people out here are avid drinkers. Just do the research. I don't make this shit up, man. That's why you don't see me drinking. And here's the thing. Even a smoker, their lungs have been acclimated to pollution just from being around the big cities. it doesn't come to a shock to your system. But when you drink, every time you take a drink, it shocks your system. It starts off at your liver, then your kidneys. But don't listen to me because I don't know anything about this stuff. I don't know anything. I just watch troll shows on here on YouTube. I don't watch the educational shows. If you want to believe that. Okay. What do you think I got most of my knowledge? Well, some of it anyway. Oh yeah, I took biology in one of the colleges and anatomy, that kind of stuff. No genius at it, but I learned a lot of stuff. I've actually held human organs in my hand. I know what they look like. Not on a cadaver, but just I don't think I could handle looking at a cadaver, to be honest with you. I don't think so. But parts, yeah, it doesn't throw me off or nothing. Frank, did you see the vlogger Big Joe is in Santa Fe? I don't know who Big Joe is. I have no idea. He come up with these names. I guess I'm just not in the loop. Somebody took their one thumbs up away. That's funny. No, I guess I'm not in the loop. I don't know who Big Joe is. Am I supposed to know who he is? I never heard of him. Is he some controversial blogger or something? Or I never heard of him. He might have heard of me, but I've never heard of him. Oh, it's still not crowded here. Every time I'm downtown, I'm not exactly seeing the way it was about Christmas or holidays of last year. No, I'm not seeing the foot traffic here with foreigners this year as much. Not at all. Tom Sack, folks. Tom Sack. Tom Sack, get the thumbs up here. No, nothing noticeable to me. There's a few foreigners here, but we're not like overrun with them. God, I can't even imagine over at Boracay. I wasn't impressed with that at all. I was watching some videos or something showing all these people this past couple of months or so. Certain days they come there and you'd think they were giving out free gasoline or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying, what's attracting these people to be on a beach with 100,000 other people? Or maybe they're just very social people. I don't know. Everybody has their reason and season to whatever they do, but I don't want to be on a beach that have many people on it. Yeah, I like it here. Even in the most crowded times here, it's still, a lot of space. You're not going to be like toe to toe with somebody over here. It's not like that. It's comfortable. It's very comfortable. That's what I like about it here. That's what I love about it here. But that could change in time. But Bentine Islands are becoming more and more and more popular because people are showing videos and they're showing drone videos overhead of what the area looks like. And some people are really impressed with what they see. And yeah, I mean, when they got the planes coming here now, but twice a week. But the problem with that is that they really rolled up their price to $2,800, where they had an introductory of like $888, and that's a big difference, And there's going to be less people, and they'll probably die out like the other airline did, because the economy is people are being pressed by the economy and everything, So he said Boracay Beach turned into Seaweed City. Oh yeah. No, it's nice here, and a few of our trolls on here have been down here. They say negative things about it, but they loved every minute of it. Jay, all these people have been down here. Mick Fisher, all of them. I took him to a place I thought was really nice, like Paradise Beach area. It's very nice. They know. It's a good place. It's a good intermediate place, really. I think you're not going to compare. It's a different type of beauty if you go to like Palawan or somewhere like that. It's just different geography, is what it is. You got a lot of rock formations that form these coves if you go all around. I've never been there, but I've seen enough videos and all that. It's pretty. It's pretty, because the geography is different, But a lot of people seem to prefer, because it's just north of Cebu, really, and it's more convenient to come here to Bantayan than it is to Palawan. You'd have to do a lot of traveling to get to Palawan. You would have to. It just becomes inconvenient. And people want straight shots from point A to point B, and I don't blame it because that's the way I feel too. Hey, King, you're not even going to give me a thumbs up? You coming on here every day and you don't even give me a fucking thumbs up? Seriously? 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 Damn, I got to ease up on the beans, man. I'll tell you that. Nobody says I ain't getting my fiber. Philippines King, you must be a definite troll. If you can't even give me a thumbs up, you won't do it, will you? I'm testing you, son. I'm testing you. I am testing you right now. Okay. Take care, dude. Nice having you aboard my machine, but if you can't even give me a thumbs up, you gotta go, brother. Because that tells me all I need to know. Your generosity. You don't have any. Not even a lousy thumbs up from Philippines King, who's been going on my channel for a while. Which is probably Jerry, because Jerry has been denied access to my channel numerous occasions. So he'll come under Philippines King, and I'm pretty sure it's probably Jerry. Oh, and there's Sausage Man. Sausage Man now replaces Philippines King, which is probably Jerry. More than likely. Not 100%, but I'd say more than likely. Well, goodbye to Philippines King. Now you can go attack me on another show. Isn't that the way it works? How you jump fence? Oh, he blocked me on his channel. Every one of these people are all bitching about that. When I have every right to block somebody when they were being an asshole or something. You know, it's my channel after all. As small as it may be, that's one little bit of control that I do have on here, if any. Sausage, V sausage. What's the V stand for? Venison sausage, or what does that stand for? Venison? Or victory sausage, or what is that? Where do you come up with that name anyway? Oh boy, sausage sounds good, but it's the pork thing. In fact, you know, we're having ham for Christmas, and I'll force myself to eat diet. I told you I generally don't eat no pork. But this is nicely processed and 1,000 preservatives in it. Oh, Vienna sauce. Oh, okay. Is that because you have a Vienna sausage as an appendix, or? I don't know. Okay. Sense of humor. Yeah. Having hams. It's going to make leche flan, all this stuff, and yeah. I'll eat the ham, because I don't, as I said, I generally don't eat pork, but I'll occasionally have a ham now and then. There's probably less parasites in there than eating just plain old pork chops or anything made of pork, sausage, or anything like that. So I'll make an exception this time. I like ham, actually. I like ham and eggs. Bacon, love it, but I don't eat it. I don't eat it. It's very rare that I actually touch bacon. I guess if it was thrown in front of my face, chances are I might eat a strip of it. It's kind of hard to refuse. It's very tasty. But no, I'm not generally into pork. I'm really not. Nah. But I will make an exception with the ham. Ham and candied yam. Oh, yeah. Well, you could make your candied yams. I don't know how to make that. I used to buy that shit out of the can all the time. Always. Every holiday, we'd buy candied yams when I grew up. I mean, yeah. There's probably so much salt and sugar in there that it's probably not worth eating, but I didn't care at the time. I would eat it, yeah. If you want to eat something good, you could buy the pumpkin in the can. Pumpkin in the can is good. Not the type for pie filling. You don't want to buy that. That's full of sugar and everything. You want to buy actually pumpkin in a can. Make sure the label says that it's not pie filling. There's a big difference. And that is excellent to eat the beta carotene in there, and it's good for the dogs. They love it. They actually love it. It's very healthy for the dogs. Not to give them every single day, but yeah, the dogs could eat that. Well, I love ham and eggs though. Oh gosh, and that'll be my weakness with pork. That's it. A little ham now and then. They buy all this crappy ham and you know what you get. Virginia comes in a little frozen package. You know, it's just a horrible. Who knows how much? What's even in that shit? I don't eat that. But I do eat tocino, chicken tocino, now and again. It's lean pieces of chicken, whatever it is, it's lean, and it has a pretty good taste. So I will not buy the pork tocino, however you pronounce it, tocino, which is very popular around here. Yeah. Like the one thing I do miss though, I used to make sandwiches all the time, you know, Hawaii, Seattle, whatever. You know, because I was not living far from Safeway and they always had a good deli, expensive as freaking hell. But, you know, I used to go in there, buy a pound of turkey breast or a pound of roast beef, or I'd get my favorite cheeses there, like Swiss cheese and stuff like that. And I'd make a killer sandwich, man. I would put the mayo on there. Not big on the mayo, but I would put mayo on there. I'd make a killer sandwich. You just can't find that stuff out here. Pork tocino is the best, not chicken. Chicken's no, it tastes good. I do have that now and again. There's also something that's like that called bulaga or something. It looks like the tocino, but it's really spicy. It's really spicy. Beef bulgogi, B-U-L-O-G-I or something like that. But man, I miss some really good deli sandwiches, man. I really do. God. Because I couldn't think of what to eat or something. Sometimes I feel like I don't know, you want to call them hoagies and stuff like that. Do you know why in New York they used to call them wedges? We call what we call hoagies now, hoagies or whatever you call them. In New York, a lot of times, you know, you eat Italian bread, you know, French bread, whatever you have, Italian bread. And the reason they call them wedges, because they would open the bread up and slice it just enough to kind of wedge in some of your meats and delicatessen meats and cheese or sausage, whatever you're going to put it. They call it a wedge because they kind of open it up and split it up just enough to put this stuff in there so the bread doesn't open up on the other side and then you got two separate pieces and it's really hard to keep it together because the stuff would flow out the other end. But that's sort of the history of that, actually. Yeah. I don't know what that shit is, man. Bulgogi. It's not spelled bulgogi, though. No. Bulgogi. Josh Morez. Oh, that's a new one on my channel. I know the name very well. You're one of the trolls, Josh. What are you doing on here, man? Oh, Popeyes' big build-up show for tomorrow evening. Isn't it tomorrow evening? Is that what it is? Yeah. The big reveal. What is he going to reveal? What is he going to reveal? My naked ass that I threw in Gary's face? What is he going to reveal? Is he going to make up a phony document? The only thing I can think of is there's nothing to reveal. Nothing. There's nothing going on at all. Oh yeah, the 20th of last month I was supposed to get something. The 20th of this month I was supposed to get something in the mail, a white envelope. There's no white envelope coming here, brother. My mail service is very good here by couriers. Bulgogi is great. Okay, so bulgogi. Okay. Oh no, it tastes pretty good. It tastes pretty good. It's just that here's the thing, man. It's the salt. You know, here's the thing about processed foods. A lot of people knock processed foods, but the research I did on it, and I've heard it many times, more than certainly once or twice or three times, that processed foods are not that bad for you as you think it is. I mean, as long as you have it in decent moderation, it's not bad. You know, it's not bad. And you're worried about preservatives, this and that. Everything has preservatives in it. Maybe that's what's keeping some people alive. It's like having being embalmed or something to preserve your body. You ever think about that? Perhaps. Okay, who's going to give me a thumbs up on here? Sausage, you going to give me a thumbs up? Josh Suarez, you going to give me a thumbs up? It's your opportunity. Bulgogi. Bulgogi. Even my girlfriend don't know how to pronounce that. We always laugh at that label. Because I always call it some really weird name. Come on, Tom Sek, folks. You're going to have to disappear from here. There you go. Now you're talking. I just got rid of one guy that's been coming on my channel, but I think it's Jerry. He's gone because he likes to come over here and drain my brain and shit, but he won't give me a thumbs up. I don't care if nobody listens on here. I'll remove everybody on here. They're still going to listen to me. It don't matter. Thank you for the other thumbs up. We got 14 people on here. 2 thumbs up. Even the trolls enjoy my show. I mean, I don't know why they're not giving me a thumbs up. I don't know who they are. I have no way of knowing if they gave me a thumbs up. I was looking at the subscriber list. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many trolls are subscribed to my channel. Hold on, I got to go to the boudoir and hook this up because this is on 2% battery. So I got to hook it up to that. Pardon me. Oh. What do I smell? Shower? Shampoo? I smell. Somebody took a shower. Okay. I smell that. Fan. Hi. Let's get this party started. So this is my own show tonight, prior to Christmas Eve. This is my own show here. Here we go, tonight. Tom Sack. Much better now. Oi. Where's my other pair of glasses? There we go, the good pair. I don't use them for their intended purpose, but oh well. Tom Sack. Come on, boys. We got 17 here and 2 thumbs up. That's okay. Because I know they're all trolls. That's why I could handle it, you know. But enjoy me for now, folks. Enjoy me because, as I said, the New Year's is coming. And you just don't know what's going to happen. As far as, you know, if I make my own resolution to just get off this shithole. What is a typical Christmas Day budget in the fills? I don't know. You mean like food budget, or you don't have to spend a whole lot for Christmas. I mean, I had a good Thanksgiving, but it was, you know, it wasn't, you know, like a fucking buffet or something. It wasn't, we had a table full of goodies. Roasted chicken and potatoes. We had other things to go with that. We had vegetables, things like that. Some kind of treat or something. We had a cake or something. I don't remember exactly. As far as budget for presents and all that shit, we don't go big on the presents here. Not really. Mostly we take care of the 2 kids that live here, really. Give them something. They're appreciative. They don't care. You buy them a shirt, they're happy. Buy a pair of shoes. Well, they're expensive. Good shoes. They're extremely happy. They're not like, they don't expect a lot. Which is great for me and Gilda. It's whatever you want your Christmas to be. Giving should be 12 months a year. And we give all the time in our own way. Our time, our space, our care, you know, food, attention. You know, how do you put that in peso signs or dollar signs? You know, you don't. Jewelry. Hell no. Gold is too expensive now. It's gone way up in price. You're not really, you know. I'm just a naysayer at these days because I think, you know, you have to go to Slim, Pro-Life Travel for that. He's always buying his girlfriend jewelry. His viewers are paying for it. There are no viewers paying for no jewelry here. No, it's, I I don't believe gold is going to radically go up too much in the next year. I think, you're buying shit at retail price, and it's never a win situation. You'd have to hold, if you were buying it for investment, which we did, but you'd have to hold on to it for a while. I don't know if you guys noticed, but out here, if you're not living in the Philippines, it's a very common practice. People will buy jewelry, they will buy gold for investment. And their investment, we're not talking about huge investments, it's mostly for emergency money, a medical situation in the family or something like that, kids' education or something. But and whenever they run out of money, they go back to the pawn shop and they pay it off. They need money again. They go out and they take money off. You know, they'll pawn the jewelry again. Becomes like a vicious cycle, I guess. No, she's got enough jewelry. We have a built-in safe, but it doesn't work. I told her, just keep your shit at your sister's in Mandawi. Don't keep it here. I mean, the island is pretty safe from thieves, but it's known to be thieves around here. You just be white, and they figure you got a lot of money if you're white or you're a foreigner. But we had a built-in one in the wall, nothing fancy, but we don't have the combination to it. Have to buy a whole new one. But I would buy something that's heavy, not something they could actually pull out of the wall and take it home and hit it with a hammer. I don't know. I mean, having a safe just makes it inconvenient. But if there's somebody home all the time, they're not going to rob you unless it's by gunpoint or something. I don't know. I don't really think of those things, but yeah. My monthly budget, I haven't sat down and figured it out. I seriously haven't. I go through my Social Security check every month, that's for sure. It's not like it used to be. I'd have a whole lot more left over. But, it's not always our only income. But I can tell you that there's been a difference since I moved out here on what Social Security is able to do for you. Back then, and then now, today, there's a big difference. My money used to stretch out a whole lot more from even a couple of years ago, actually. I don't know I could tell you that I go through my Social Security check. I could tell you that. I go through that. And I have other resources that I have to depend on after I spend out on that. But no, I've never really sat down like some vloggers do and do an estimate, because it's kind of like my personal business as far as itemizing things and just telling the world what I spend on everything. Let's just say my Social Security works very well for us, a family of 4. I'll leave it at that. And there are other resources too. Don't need to go into, but we're okay. We're good. We're good. Could this last forever? I don't know. Things are going crazy in the economy. I couldn't tell you from one day to the other. Everybody, it could be a very serious medical emergency that could clean anyone out. According to what's being done, heart surgery, complicated surgery, doctors, surgeons' fees, the nurses' fees, the hospital fees, the operating room fees. They hit you hard, my friend. They hit you hard. I know from the kidney stone thing, they hit me hard. They hit me hard. They probably caused damage to me too. I wouldn't be surprised, to my urethra. I'm betting on that they did. I have my own reasons to say that. I bet they did. Because it's actually an invasive procedure. And they went in there a couple of times. And just like when people do, angioplasties and shit, any time they're going to put something through your fucking arteries or veins or something, and I'm sure they're causing damage somewhere, They'll say it's something else so they don't lose their license or something, but they're not going to tell you when they fuck up. Or a junior mint, it's Seinfeld again, or a junior mint falls into the surgical opening in your body. No sugar tonight, honey. No sugar tonight. Do, 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 do. No sugar tonight. Josh Juarez. Josh Juarez is a troll, man. Well, they're all trolls. Who am I kidding? Yeah, but they come here. They don't cause trouble. Generally, I'm okay. I'm okay with them. God, I was watching something on the Guess Who, and I know their music. I just didn't realize, I've seen like a modern version of, what's his freaking name? Mark, oh hell. Like I'm stupid. I didn't realize a lot of the songs were from this band that I wasn't aware of, or just had to remind myself because he was on doing an interview with somebody, and oh, okay. This might have been an older show a little bit with Howard Stern. Okay. And he was one of the lead singer on there. He he did a little ditty of like about 10 different of his better songs. I said, that's right, he did all those. They're really a good band. I said, I seen them live at a smaller venue in Seattle. Yeah, they were great. I don't know, they was playing small venues. Not always big concert areas. I don't know. A band has to do what they want. They got to keep on touring. They may not get the big venues, but they still got to make the money and they still got to tour. Oh yeah, American Woman. And actually, what was he saying about that song? Because he was Canadian. He's Canadian, the lead singer, and they weren't knocking American Woman. I forgot the story on that, but they weren't knocking American Woman, actually. It was actually the opposite. I just saw this interview, was it this morning or something? It was an older interview or something. Oh, Grand Funk Railroad? Yeah, I like a few there. Yeah, God, I haven't heard their name in a long time. Grand Funk Railroad. Yeah. There's a lot of bands I don't think of a lot. Deep Purple, Shit. So many good bands out there that came from the 70s and 80s. Mostly the 70s. But there was some good stuff. I mean, I like, bands like Duran Duran. I like them a lot. There's a few songs with the Goo Goo Dolls I like. Let's see what else. I like some of the... I was never into punk rock, really. Although believe me, I went to places where it was punk rock. It was more grunge, the place I went to. It was more radical, like CBGB's, okay? So, believe me, I had my taste of that. I didn't really like it. There's a lot of singers I like. Even Sarah McLachlan. She's no heavy-duty rock person or nothing, but Sarah McLachlan has a great voice. And I always remember a line in one of her songs that stuck to me. And one of the lyrics in one of her songs is, I want to breathe your breath. Oh, I thought that was profound. That's like the biggest indicator of somebody loving somebody, that they want to feel so close to them that they want to breathe your breath. Of course, if you have good breath. Yeah. I want to breathe your breath. I've always remembered that. Just like women like to, if you're going to be gone for a while, some women like to sleep with your shirt that has your smell on it, Or certainly after somebody dies, they want to keep their clothing because maybe there's some scent of you on there, just like a dog would want the scent of its owner. Humans do the same thing. I want to breathe your breath. I like that. I really like that. Sarah McLachlan with a great voice. I don't like people like Cyndi Lauper. I don't like her at all. Cyndi Lauper. And some of these old gals are still singing out there, man. Even the Wilson sisters, Ann and Nancy Wilson, they're still kind of... I don't think they're doing any big venues or nothing like that, but I think they're still singing around. And nobody makes judgment on her, the singer who's always been overweight. No one really ever makes a judgment on her, really. But she used to be self-conscious about that. She used to hide it on stage in different ways she'd do things. But her sister, she's blonde, she's still very attractive. And great voice, too. And she plays a guitar. What was that tribute? They did a tribute to the Wilson sisters. They did a tribute to... who was it they did a tribute to? Was it Phil Collins? What a tribute that was. I believe it was Phil Collins. Holy shit. They were fucking good. Couldn't believe it. That's real talent. They used to live right in Seattle. They had a little mansion up there. Now the mom, I don't think the mom's alive now. No, she wouldn't be. These gals are already in their 60s or so, 70. I don't know what they are now. It was like a nice combination. You got the blonde and the brunette sisters. I've seen the house that at least the mom was living in it. I think it was Capitol Hill or First Hill in Seattle, in that area. They had some nice mansions because actually Seattle was settled in that area. And one area is called First Hill and Capitol Hill, and that's where all the rich people settled in there, beginning years of Seattle. No, it wasn't to Zeppelin. Wait a minute. Who's that tribute to? I just remember it was so fucking good. Somebody out there, some aficionado, music aficionado would know that. I just remember it was good. And I just remember it was a while back, their tribute. But it was so damn good, I couldn't believe it. What a tribute it was. I'm glad I can remember that there even was a tribute to somebody. Never mentioned who it was for, but I just remember they were really good. Their rendition of the songs was right on, if not as good or better. I mean, it was incredible. But I'll think about it. And then I, become to see the talents of Zeppelin. I mean, I don't know. There's some bands out there that stand out amongst others. But you got to understand, how many years has it been since the 70s, man, or 60s? Some bands stand out better than others. And some you remember more than others. But there's been so many bands in between, and every different genre of music came to play, And who really is responsible for rock and roll? You can look at people like Chuck Berry and people like that too. You can look at them. They played a big part. A really big part. Rock and roll. Hoochie goo. The Stones are still playing around. I can't even believe that. A lot of these guys in the bands, they look like the walking fucking dead. They're in their 80s and they're going hot and heavy on fucking bass and lead guitar, and I'm saying, how the hell do they do it, man? We know the incredible things about music. Even if you're losing your mind, I mean, you're getting Alzheimer's or something, they always seem to be successful, like Glenn Campbell was. Always seem to remember their music, their instrument. They might have to, have a reader card out there, a prompter for the lyrics, but holy shit. These guys are going at it in their 80s, man. They must be pumped up with something, man. They have to be. But look at Jagger. But let me tell you something about Jagger, though. Jagger works out like crazy. He has a personal trainer he's been dealing with for decades. He has this regimen you wouldn't believe in what he does to work out, to be able to go on stage and perform and still dance around the stage like he used to. Maybe not as good as he used to, but pretty damn close. And he's like 80 or something now, whatever the hell he is. I don't know his exact age. They look like they've been, laying in the desert and mummified, some of these musicians. But they're on a stage, man. Didn't anybody know better? They thought these people had masks on. But no, they're really their age It's really them, and they're really singing, and they're really playing their instruments. It's incredible. You don't normally see stuff like this. People are living longer these days. In the past, you didn't see anything like this. They're getting nutritional aid, they're getting trainers, all this crap. They can afford it. But you see a lot of comments when you see something on YouTube, like, you know, a show from a performance or something, a live performance or something. You see a lot of comments like, these people need to retire, and now, Now, if they love what they're doing, man, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what keeps them alive, actually. It's probably their music. It's their passion. And why not? Okay, I'm getting a little played out here. I can't play this trumpet anymore. I'm just here to say a little pre-Christmas howdy doody, pre-Christmas Eve. Hope you enjoy the holidays. Make the best of it. If you're all alone, try to find a friend. But don't invite yourself over somebody's house. It doesn't work well that way. Some people have the gall to do that. But let's learn a lesson from something here, okay? This is my soliloquy. Don't buy everything you hear. Oh, everybody's getting all geared up. They want to listen to Popeyes' show. There ain't nothing he would know that I wouldn't know already. All my attorneys. Even about Barry. I didn't even know what's going on with Barry. If he's been getting beat up in prison, I have no way of knowing that. I'm sure he has by now. I don't know when he's going to be released. And if I don't know that, and I put him in there, and if my lawyer don't know that, and he helped put him in there, then nobody else knows. That's the bottom line. Okay? Now, unless, of course, in Barry's case, but he lies anyway, he'll talk to Brevis a lot. And Brevis will spread some word somewhere. Okay? It's not always truthful either. You can't listen to what Barry says, so it would have to come from Barry himself as far as his situation. It would have to come from him. But I think not even Barry knows anything. He hasn't had any cooperative attorneys that's on his side. None of them. He'll get out when they say him, okay, you're going to be out in a couple of days, get your shit together. We're going to deport you. Did you pay your fines? Hey, that's a bad attitude, son. No, we're going to keep you in here another half a year. They'll do whatever they want. They'll do whatever they want. So I can't sit here and lie to you. And I can't tell you what's going on with old Bubba Boy. I can't do it because I don't know. I just know that he's in subsidiary extended punishment, jail time, whatever. That's it. And I know that usually doesn't last more than 6 months. It's been over 6 months. So I don't know. They may be keeping him longer. Maybe got in trouble in there. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I have no way of knowing. The same way, nobody has any goddamn way of knowing what immigration, what their situation is regarding a certain situation with me that his girlfriend put in. If I don't know it, if my lawyer don't know it, all right? If another source I had can't find out either because they don't want to tell information to nobody, then nobody's going to know. Unless hanky-panky went on and somebody paid a lower level official from, not a higher level, that if somebody paid a lower level official in immigration, I'm not saying it would be impossible, but improbable. Okay? Improbable. So whatever bullshit that Popeye wants to put on, you're not drawing no sweat from my glands, Popeye. I'll guarantee you that. And if you write up a phony document, your ass could be in trouble, even where you are. Just to let you know. If they're selling it, folks, don't buy it. That's my saying. If it's coming from Popeye or the likes of him, don't buy it. Okay? Simple as that. Popeye has a lot of hate in his heart for me. He wants to make me sweat, but it hasn't been working. He wants to make me stress, but it hasn't been working. We're talking about Popeye. Get it? His words don't hurt me, and there is no documents, nothing sent to me, because it would be sent simultaneously to me and my attorney, or the attorney receives it and he sends me a PDF file of it, which I make a hard copy of it, or he'll send me, well, actually, they would send me something too, actually. I would get something from him, and I would get something directly from the Bureau of Immigration. That's how it works. That's how it works. But enjoy. This is my show before Christmas Eve. Joyful, 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 joyful. Just understand something how YouTube works. It's nothing but spreading lies, trying to damage people's reputations, making up for what they don't have in life, or just living their life vicariously through characters like me and other people on here. But I think my audience knows that. That's all it is. That's all it'll ever be. If I can't withdraw information from a certain source, and my lawyer can't draw information from a certain source source that's representing me, then nobody could lollygag. Not Mick Fisher, not Big E, could lollygag. And if they know somebody that's working in immigration, there's a Privacy Act going on, and they give out this information, they could be fired, and they could be fined up to 4 million, I read it, 4 million pesos, and get fired. That's what I found out. Eventually it leaks out, if somebody leaked out any information. But here's the problem. The problem is, there's nothing going on. There's nothing to say. No resolution has been come up with. So therefore, there's no information to seek from the Bureau of Immigration. It hasn't been done yet. So whoever claims they know this and they know that and they know this, they're full of shit. What doesn't exist can't be produced. That's a better way of putting it. If it hasn't been, if it's not in existence and it hasn't happened, it cannot be produced other than fraudulently that somebody can make up a document. That's the only way. And with gullible people on there, they believe it too. How about all these documents they held up even over to 2 years ago, whatever it's been? Yeah. Oh, I've got the resolution in my hand, and they swore to it. Big E swore he had it in his hand. Mick Fisher swore he had it in his hand. Popeye swore he had it in his hand. Jay said he had it in his hand. Well, apparently they didn't. Okay. Anyway, that's my show. Anyway, you enjoy it anyway. Enjoy it anyway. You guys have a great Christmas Eve. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow at all. I might be having to help around the house here, doing a few things. We're going to have a good dinner for Christmas Eve. And I believe that's when we are doing it, tomorrow night. We're not going to wait till Christmas Day for that. We never do. If we have leftovers, we use it for Christmas Day. Yeah. Which reminds me, yeah, I do. No, talking about the pie situation. Now I'm like, fuck yeah, I have to go to bed and tie into it. I'm hellbound now wanting a pie. I don't care about the sugar for the holiday. Now I'm hellbound on wanting it could be just a simple apple pie, blueberry, whatever they have there. But I don't think they're going to have anything. I think they're going to be sold out. It's the holidays. I know I could ask that question to my girlfriend right now, and she's going to tell me the same thing. That, maybe it'll make extra stuff because people are buying, but it's a very well-known place where I get this stuff, and they make homemade cakes, and chances are it's going to be gone. We should have thought about that today. We really should have thought about it today. But we just didn't. She had a couple of things she had to do today, so we couldn't go up there. But yeah, now that I think about it, but she's making leche flan and all that. No, mango float. She's making mango float. We already got the crackers, and that'll be that should be enough sugar for me. I don't really need to go get a pie. I could and use it for the next day, but also my brother's birthday is on the 26th, the day after Christmas. So in memory of him, it only seems right to maybe get a cake or something, you know. I will see. I'll play it by ear. I don't want to eat too many sweets. I enjoy my sweets, but unfortunately, the only sweet that I really like would be dark chocolate because there's less sugar in it. It has to be a higher percentage of cacao. 85 and above is your best. 70 is marginal, but you want like 85 and above. I actually have. It's by Hershey's. It's a powder. It's a cacao powder. It's 100%. And what they suggest you do in the morning with that, put that in your tea or coffee because that has so many antioxidants. You would not believe what dark chocolate could do for you. Read upon it. I'm ending the show right now. I'm not going to go into detail, but look it up on ChatGPT or something. What 100% cacao, you know, what the benefits are with that. If you could take that every day, there's a lot less sugar in there. It's doable. It's very doable. With that being said, you guys take care. Just talk to you when I do another show. And don't buy into that bullshit with Popeye. Oh, Frank must be worried. No, Popeye, I'm not worried because I know the score, unlike you. You just want to antagonize me. Want me to stress on the holidays. Well, you know what? Poops, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. And what doesn't exist is not going to be there. Okay? If the Constitution hasn't been written, there's no Constitution. Know what I'm saying, Popeye? You know? If there's no cream on the pie, then there's no cream on the pie. You gotta go out and buy yourself a can of cream or make some cream. A pie doesn't come with cream unless you order the cream on it. A glass of hot chocolate doesn't come with cream on it unless you ask them to put the cream on it. See what I'm saying? I think you do. Hey, good evening, folks. Let me continue my night, watch a good movie. Talk to you again another time. Enjoy the holidays. Just enjoy. But don't overdo. Or you'll wind up like these YouTubers on there, all obese, all drunk out of their ass, liver problems, kidney problems galore, metastatic, metabolic injury, because they like to drink and they like to overeat. A holiday is no excuse. You could eat good on a holiday. Spread it out. Don't just take the shovel out. Take human bites. A fork and a spoon, and don't shove it in your mouth with a garden shovel or something.